Let's see. I think we're live. All right, chat. Let me see. Once I see the reactions, Silverwolf says we Puerto Ricans are always late. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. I'm on an echo? Uh-oh. Here we go. Am I on an echo? Uh-oh. I'm on an echo? Really? How? I'm looking at my settings. My settings good? My settings good? No, never mind. That was me. Oh, man, Brian East, man. You have me. Oh, man, Bryce. I'm like, man, already. Here we go. Here we go. Now we got another round. Now we had to go around on the troubleshooting campaign. He has 2 tabs open. All right. I was about to say, hey, anyway, welcome, my friends, my family, my fellow gamers. Your only friend, these YouTube streets, Porter Rock 77. We are back with another episode of something 60 frames no lag. And yes, we are back. We got some crew members here ready to chill out, talk some games and stuff like that. Pretty calm week, but there is a couple of things that I do want to talk about. Some funny stuff, some funny stuff that's happening in gaming. But first, let's chat with the crew that is here. We're gonna start off with the man with 1,000 plats himself, with 100K plaque in the back of the wall. We got Sean King.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, brother? How's everything?
Yeah, man, it's a pleasure to have me on here, man. I'm just I'm relaxing, man. I just played a couple games earlier, just enjoying a couple of horror games. What about you, man?
Okay, no, just chilling, trying to finish up Death Stranding 2. You know what I'm saying? That game is so epic. But you know what I'm saying? I'm enjoying it. In a couple of weeks, Lost Soul Aside comes out. I mean, there's Mafia. There's a lot of games. You know what I'm saying? To segue, one of the topic is gonna be Ghost's favorite topic. He loves hearing people saying this is the worst gen in gaming ever. We know how much you love hearing that, Ghost. Worst gen ever, right? No games, all the games suck, right? But anyway, I'm glad to hear it, man. You platinum. We talked earlier. Yeah, over 1,100 platinums already.
Yeah, I just reached it not like a couple of days ago.
Okay, actually. All right. Let's not forget, the Glimmer gamers. They want to see them. They want to see them goldies platinum. They want to see them Spider-Mans, the Ragnaroks. You know what I'm saying? The God of Wars.
They want to see all that.
Yeah, Uncharted. They want to see it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's cool what you're doing, but they want you. They want to see some love from the big guns.
Time to put the hammer down.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? All right, that's what's up, man. There you go. And of course, we got Ghost, man. What's going on, my brother? How's everything?
What's up, everyone? I'm just happy to be here and just gaming away and working, gaming.
I know.
Living life. Fishing,
man. Is it great? You know what I'm saying? It's one thing. Like, these young kids got to learn. You got to bust your ass when you're young, because once you achieve your goals, man, like you're like work, play some games, catch a football game.
Yeah, that's
what I'm saying.
I spend a lot of time.
It's kind of like sometimes you wondering, damn, what I got to do today. Yeah,
like I always make a running joke. I fire myself at least 2-3 times a week. You know what I'm saying? I'm just sitting in my office and I'm like, you know what, man, you fire. I'm going home. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but definitely put in the work when you're young, guys. Like if you got some young dudes in the audience, and it's never too late to do anything, but still, it helps a whole lot if you have a plan and you stick to that plan. And unfortunately, social media and the internet is all about immediate gratification. But guys, work hard towards your goals and one. I mean, now I'm not gonna say that every day. You one day you'll be like me or whomever you desire to be like. But I mean, I'm 50. I'm 55. And this is a lifetime of just putting in that work, man. And now I'm just enjoying it, man. So we travel a lot. I video game. I buy every damn game that comes out. Now I'm not a platinum guy. I don't have any platinums. None.
That it's a challenge. I got 19, and I'm proud. I'm proud of my 19.
Yeah, I mean, I have one platinum, but I have 600, 700 games. I play them all, and I play them at my leisure. But at the same token, like I envy those guys. So respect to you, Sean, because yikes. I always tell people, and I live by this. I am I am resource rich, but time poor.
Time poor, yeah.
Understandable, man.
People understand. You know what's funny though? Like you know how we give the advice to younger folks. It honestly feels like when you're younger, you have more time in the day, even though it's the same exact clock. But like, you don't need to sleep as much. You can do more. You can. It's just being younger. You can do so much more with the time you're given. But then as you get older, sometimes I'll be like, I ain't got time for this shit. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't got time for this. Like this, I'm not doing this. You know, it's just how you know what I'm talking about. It's like I ain't got time for this shit. You know, like, you know, when you first joined the military, right? You're a young POC, you know, Army, you know, you got young ranks, and we got Lance Corporals. So I'm like a young POC Lance Corporal. I could wake up at 5 a.m, and then within 20 minutes, I'm done shaving, and I'm out PTing. We running 7 miles, doing all this stuff. Come back, shower in 15 minutes, go to the chow hall, get a quick bite to eat, and then work a full day. Come back, I hit up the gym, doing games, going to school, all this stuff. Now, I ain't waking up 5 a.m. to PT. You out your mind? Are you kidding me? Like, bro, I wake up at 5. The first thing I do is I sit in the bed and I'm just sitting there like. Just like, oh, like, you know, when you wake up in the morning, your back hurts. Like, how you wake up in the morning and you're already in pain? Like, yo, I didn't do anything yet, and I'm already like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, and this is funny. And I always tell people, especially in Puerto Rico, when you retire, invest in a solid bed. And I did this maybe about 10 years ago, man. And one of my, you know, of all the things that I have, I went and bought one of those sleep numbers.
Oh my
really?
God, dude. Life changing.
Life changing, bro. Straight up. I get all my little money. Whenever a new one comes out, like I got the one that's like
it's like about to invest in a company. He's like, hold on, I need to be a shareholder in this shit.
I'm telling you, this shit it saved my life, man. I'm not a big sleeper, you know what I'm saying? So like I'm about 4 or 5 hours a day. I'm usually up by about 4:30, you know, and just and moving around. But but
when you do sleep,
those 4 or 5. Oh yeah, I'm out cold. The whole house could burn down. Whole house could burn down. And here in Kentucky, and you know, we have bad like tornadoes and storms. Man, I'm like, and my wife would be like, "We gotta go down to the basement." I'm like, "Man, it's gonna have to take me. It's gonna take me to Kansas. I'm not waking up."
Listen. You know what I mean? If I've got a goal, it was God's will. But I ain't leaving this bed. If it was meant to go, but I'm going to go happy.
I'm telling you, like I said, I've been married to my wife 35 years. And the one thing, man, we get on each other's nerves. We love each other, all that good stuff. The one thing she does not do is wake me up. Like, my kids know it. My grandkids know it. They're like, man, leave Papa the hell alone.
That's the limit. Don't bother him. You can ask him for anything. Yep. Just give him all he asks is 4 or 5 hours. Leave him alone.
I'm telling
4 or 5 hours.
Leave. I mean, they tiptoe around the house, everything. I'm like, you're looking out. So I trained them well.
Oh, nice. That's what's up. All right, man. What's going on? And then, look who's here. We got Craig, top flight security of the world. Craig, what's going on?
Hey.
Hi.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
I'm all right. You? What's going on?
We're doing good. We're doing good, Craig. How are you doing? How's that Kentucky heat?
I can't complain. Oh, it's broke. Finally, we've had 4 days of 85-degree weather with no humidity. So good. Right now, it feels real good outside.
Okay. All right. All right, my brother. Glad to hear it. All right. We're going to kick off a couple of super chats. Then we'll get to the first topic real quick and kick it off. We got Sean K. the King with the super chat. He said, best podcast hands down. Oh, wow. And you are part of it, brother. That's outstanding. Thank you so much. Thank you for the love.
More love, man.
Yeah. And then we got Gordo P23. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Gordo, I'm still researching that whole, like Gordo came on to Disagreement Day just to hop on, right? And Gordo, like, had a thing. He's like, listen, y'all motherfuckers worrying about the wrong shit. And I'm like, what you talking about, Gordo? He's like, y'all worrying about the wrong shit. Y'all worrying about third party, Xbox going to PlayStation going here. Y'all ain't knowing what's happening. I'm like, yo, Gordo, what you talking about? He's like, on here, he's freaking out. He's like, bro, Epic is putting their store on Google. And I'm like, all right. He goes, but think about it. Epic is also putting their store on iOS. I'm like, all right, Gordo. He goes, and Epic put their store on PlayStation. I'm like,
what?
I was like, he goes, the court already decided. And I'm thinking, all right, Google's one thing, right? Because they're Android, but iOS is like PlayStation. They have their own hardware and their own store on their own hardware, but they have to open it up. So technically speaking, if someone wants to take Sony to court, because technically speaking, right, when you think about it, it only applies to the market dominating product. What is the market dominating product now in console now that Xbox is dead? It's literally PlayStation. There's really nothing else. Technically, you can say Nintendo, but it's like, people are going to look at PlayStation and like, wait, hold up. You're literally the only main console for AAA gaming. There's nothing else. So now guess what? You can't monopolize this market. We putting my store on your shit. The president is there. I was like, Gordo, I got to look into this. All it takes is one, right? All it takes is one. Now, I doubt Epic will do that because Sony's invested in Epic or whatever. But let's say it's like GOG or somebody else. What if it's Microsoft? Microsoft's going to be like, hey, we want to put Game Pass and Xbox, our store on PlayStation. We don't have a console. Yeah. They're the market. And they could be like, hey, we're taking them to court. The president is already there. It's already set.
Mm-hmm. Dang.
All it takes is a judge to be like, you know what? A precedent is already set. Sony, you got to open up your ecosystem. Yeah, those days of, you are the de facto console manufacturer. Open your shit up. You can't monopolize this market no more. Like, it's done. Open your shit up.
Damn.
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. But Gordo's like, y'all talking the wrong shit. I'm like, you're right. We worrying about we're worrying about Xbox 27 million. Who cares? Who cares about Xbox sales? 27 million, 33 million, it all sucks, right? I mean, I've been seeing that this whole week, right? Everybody's trying to argue which is the true thing. I'm like, bro, one says 27 million, the other one says 33 million. Both suck ass. Unless Microsoft's at 50 million, don't talk about it. It's pointless, right? I mean, Ghost, am I wrong? Like, what are they arguing?
Right. But the one thing that you have to consider is, okay, let's hypothetically, if they were to put Game Pass onto PlayStation, that's still inside of PlayStation's ecosystem. So even would and I don't know. My expertise is in warfare.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Gordo threw a curveball. I'm like, I'm not a lawyer. It's a good question. I don't know. It's a good question.
But here's the thing.
What's the legality?
Would that $20 that they pay monthly for Game Pass Ultimate, or the $14.99 or $10.99, would then Sony be entitled to that 30% cut of that?
Maybe. Like,
probably. At what point in time would Microsoft be like, man? Because if they are, that wouldn't make any sense for Microsoft to do that at all.
I'll be honest. If I was Microsoft, I wouldn't want Game Pass on PlayStation. Why would I? You get the $70 and they're clearly buying it. So why would you give PlayStation gamers a deal? Like, you would kill yourself. You're getting the $70. I mean, Forza Horizon is a perfect example. Call of Duty is a perfect example. Like, think about it. The PlayStation gamers buy Call of Duty in the millions at $70. So why would you take that away from yourself? For $20 a month?
Right.
True.
I would be like, yeah, PlayStation, you ain't getting Game Pass. We were getting $70 off your ass. We're good. We'll take that 70%. I'm being honest. Why the hell would I give you guys Game Pass when you guys are paying $70 with no problem? It's the Xbox guys are cheap as hell. Them guys, Microsoft messed up doing day and day. They created a culture and now they probably regret it. Or I don't know. But I'll tell you what, anybody who's willing to pay $70 for your games, you're going to keep it that way for as long as you can. Interesting, right?
Yeah, I mean,
he has a point, though. You got a point, though.
That was, Gordo. Shout out to Gordo. And his super chat is, I tried rum raisin ice cream for the first time, and Extreme owes all of us an apology because that shit was terrible. yo, bro, I'm not, listen, just looking at the carton that says rum raisin, that shit looks disgusting. Just looking at the box. And Gordo, you a better man than me. He tried it. He said Extreme owes him an apology. Yo. Oh, that thing don't even that don't even sound like a right combo. Rum raisin, like what are we talking about here? Like I don't know. Like, oh, I don't know. I mean, he tried to knock me for chocolate. Like, oh my God, it's the worst flavor ever. I'm like, all right, what flavor you like? Rum raisin. I'm like, man, get your ass out of here. I ain't trying to hear that. At least he could have said like strawberry or some shit, you know? But rum raisin, I'm like, that's like a bet. Like, I bet you won't eat this. He's like, I bet you $10 I would. That's the flavor. That's the flavor when you bet somebody $10 that they won't eat it. All right. Let's start with the first topic real quick. Nintendo Switch. Yo, this is crazy. And what's even crazier, how there's not like a huge backlash over this. But Nintendo did a Switch pricing update. Pricing of the original Nintendo Switch family of systems and products will change in the United States based on market conditions effective August 3, 2025. So it already happened. We're August 5th. This includes Nintendo Switch OLED model, Nintendo Switch Lite, and select Nintendo Switch accessories. Let me put this on the screen. This shit is wild. Like, I never seen this in my life. Like, in our lives. Nobody's seen this. This is some new shit. So, Nintendo raised the price and it says, go here, pricing information for United States consumers can be found here. So I click on this. All right, we're at the store. I'm like, all right, where's the, oh man, they took the thing. Where's the hardware? Okay, we'll go hardware. What they had, wait a minute, hold on. Let me go back. Hold on. What's going on? Where's the list? They had a list before that made it easier to go down the list. Give me a second. They took down that quick note, but hold on. All right, so they took down the notes. They took down the list, so now we're just gonna have to go. But let me do this. Let me click on Switch. Okay, here we go. We'll do this. We'll do it this way. So they took down the little consumer warning note, but anyway, we'll just go look at it this way. So now the regular Switch, which was $300, is now $340.
Oh.
A refurbished Switch is $300 now.
Mm-hmm. As it should be.
Oh.
What do you mean as it should be? You are out your mind. Craig, we don't need cap right now. Let's not cap.
How am I capping? I told you everything was going to go up and your job was to get it ready.
No, but you're talking about the new shit. You ain't talking about the old shit.
What do you mean?
Man, they almost charging the price of the Nintendo Switch too.
Yeah, that's right. You better get it ready. What part of things are going to go up? What part of you getting it ready do you not understand?
Listen, but this is old shit. This shit's from 2017. What are you talking
you better
about?
Get it ready.
No, we ain't getting ready. We're not. They're gonna get ready. We're going to Tokyo.
Okay.
We going up the lobby. I'm gonna go up like Ice Cube and tear up the lobby.
All right. So Mario's gonna meet you in that lobby and say, "You better get it ready, senor."
Look at this, $400 for a Switch OLED.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? This don't make sense. So how is this still? They didn't notice this. Super Mario OLED is $349.
Going down.
What the hell is you talking about?
It's supposed to be going. It's old systems. They're old.
So what?
They're old.
What makes you think they should be going down?
Because they're old.
Is going down. Oh, okay. Those days are over. This is 2025. We entered the year. We're in the year of getting it ready. So that's all I can say. We're in the year of getting it ready.
Listen, let me tell you something. Nintendo gamers, y'all better unfuck this shit. Y'all can't let Nintendo get away with this. You guys cannot let them get away with this. I'm not buying this shit. I was gonna buy Nintendo for Metro Prime 4 and Dust Bloods. Nah, fuck that. Nah, we gotta boycott. We gotta go out like Rosa Parks, man. We gotta do something. We gotta, you know what I'm saying? We got to march.
Oh man,
we can't let them get away with this. You can't let them get away with this. Like, bro, the Switch OLED is $400. It's the price of the PS5 Slim.
Fact.
That shit is crazy. Like, what are we doing here? Y'all gotta boycott this shit. Nintendo Nation, y'all gotta boycott this shit. Boycott the hell of it.
I fully support the price going up because the Nintendo Nation knows that they got to start getting it ready. So they know
boycott.
it. So.
Listen.
But they can boycott it.
Boycott that shit. When Nintendo sees the sales drop dramatically, they're gonna course correct. They're gonna be like, we gotta drop the price.
Vote with your wallet. Vote with your wallet, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't let this happen.
P-Rock, that argument is moot, man. When they were when people bought cardboard for Nintendo, you think they were? Motherfuckers bought cardboard.
They sold cardboard, so they will buy it.
You know what?
If you build it, they will come. If you build it, they will come. Yeah,
you know what? Never mind. These cats bought. What was it? What was that shit called? What's that cardboard bullshit called? Amiibo? No, it wasn't Amiibo.
Eating box.
What was that? Hey, chat. What was it? Labo.
Yeah.
You're right.
And we're happy about it.
These dudes bought corrugated cardboard, bro. And then they wanna say the PS5 Pro's a scam. Motherfucker, you bought cardboard.
My PS5 is broke because it's doing ray tracing at 60 frames per second. So, and I was told that it wasn't supposed to do that. So obviously mine, I have a bad one. So they might want to buy it from. Yeah, I got a bad SKU.
Dude,
so
you got a legendary PlayStation, man. You got a legendary PlayStation, my guy.
Yeah, it's broke. So that's all I can say. I was playing a game the other day with global illumination, so it was amazing.
How much you can all at buck? Like I don't even engage anymore. Like with like the. I listened to a podcast last night, and God, I'm not gonna say his name. I'm not gonna put him on blast, but like it was a whole 58 minutes of live. You know, like, one after another. Like, and it was a whole it was a whole massage session. Like it was the purest form of an echo chip. Yeah, I'm not gonna put my man on blast. I'm always gonna support small creators, man. But man, I was sitting there like, what are we doing here? Yeah, there's a limit. There is a limit, and I even super chatted and told him as much. I was like, my God, you got to stop it. You know, it is what it is. But I don't even engage with it. I mean, like rest his soul, Optimus Code. But Optimus Code tried to tell us. You know what I'm saying? And he told us before these consoles even launched what the time was, and we progressively P-Rock, Craig, all of you all have kind of said the same thing over and over again, and these guys keep living in revisionist history, whether it be the Xbox community, whether it be whomever. If Nintendo guys, I mean, you got to charge $500 system for a slight upgrade or whatever this Switch 2 is. My son has one, and I swear to God, he has not touched it from day one. I mean, he'll play as Portal before. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. That's his preference. It's like it's whomever's preference on these social media sites or whatever the case may be. But the simple fact is, you just can't deny simple truths. And I just don't even engage anymore with it. Like the minute some wild stuff or an outlandish take is taken, I damn near gotta block them.
Crazy.
So,
that is crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it's just you're right, Ghost, about the revisionist stuff. They're back to talking about power again. This is the same group of people championing a handheld. Yeah. I mean, they're the same people that were just talking about a handheld. How you go to that? And the person doing it, Matt's Gaming, there's a reason why we called him Jack Reacher. And that's why we called him that.
I remember that.
Yeah. It was the stupidest thing I've ever seen. It's just they're still fighting to be relevant. It's a fight for relevance at this point. So,
like, how do you go back to a tactic that failed you already? Like, that's literally the definition of insanity. Like, you tried the whole Xbox is more powerful bit, and you ended up looking dumb. Why would you try and go back to that? Like, what are you, like, this time it's going to happen. Like, holy shit, let that shit go, bro. Like, it's crazy, bro.
I agree.
Like, this as well.
Yeah, it's the same stuff.
It's like, and and like the future of Xbox is most likely just PC machines. Like, these guys don't get it, bro. Like, I feel sorry. Like,
hey, but P-Rock, they get it. They get it. P-Rock, they're slowly.
I think the content creators get it.
Undercurrents and stuff like, yeah, and they're trying to put them on game in the Xbox kind of way, kind of double speaking and you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, they get it. They just don't want to admit it. Because then by admitting it, then you and King Thrash and J-Dub and Zaire and all these other, people were right. And but you can't get no W's on Twitter.
Yeah, facts.
You can say it's your wife's birthday, and it's gonna be someone's gonna say something negative. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's facts. That is true. That is absolutely true. So I guess with Nintendo, oh well, if they could sell cardboard, you could pretty much sell anything.
Yeah,
nothing we can do. So just take that. That's it. They won. I mean, I forgot about that.
Look at,
they sold Labo.
Yeah, look. They sold Labo, but look at even towards the end of before the end of the Switch One's generation before the Switch 2 came out. They were still you look at those monthly MPDs. There were still millions upon millions of people buying them.
Yeah, that shit. I mean, that shit was like. But what's crazy is they raised the price of the Switch 1 when the Switch 2 is already out. That is menacing. That is diabolical. That is the most diabolical shit. That's
very diabolical.
That's like the new 2025 Mustang comes out and you raise the price of the 2024. Diabolical. That is diabolical. That is some diabolical shit. I never seen no shit. Now some people are saying that I guess people are still buying the Switch a lot, so they raise the price to get people to be like, well, the Switch 2 is only a little bit more, so I might as well get the Switch 2.
Mm-hmm.
You think that's a tactic?
Did you all ever find out what Nintendo means in English?
What does it mean?
Oh,
it means get it ready.
Oh,
that's what it means.
Up, man.
Oh my god!
What it means?
Shut the fuck up, man. Shut up, man. Shut the fuck. Shut up.
No, that's what it means in English. I don't know why you all didn't know that.
I should have.
Maybe all that.
I mean, they set us up. I'm thinking Nintendo's not English already. Like that's Japanese.
No.
Like what's this?
Japanese for get it ready.
He's a
Japanese
fool.
you better get it ready. So. I mean, that's what it means.
I was ready to learn some shit. I'm like, I thought Nintendo was already an English translation.
Yeah, we all got quiet.
Like all of us got towards the camera, and then he says, "Just get it ready." I'm like, oh my god,
yeah, this means get it ready.
Bruh.
And he said it all nonchalantly, like he's serious or some shit. Oh my god! All right. Let me move over to this topic, right? Parris Lilly, he was on Coach Eastwood's podcast, right? And of course,
it's already a failure.
It's the cap extreme, but this is what's funny, right? So Parris Lilly, right? And many others, they're all about games everywhere. They're the big supporters of games everywhere. More people get to play the games. And I will say out of any generation where more people can play games on their preferred hardware is nothing bigger than this. And it's only going to get bigger, right? But you don't have to have a PlayStation to play God of War. You don't have to have an Xbox to play Gears. You know what I'm saying? Games are now more available than ever before on more platforms, right? And they love it. They embrace it. It's great for gamers. And if you don't like it, it's because you're a fanboy who don't love gaming. All right, cool. I want to y'all listen to this.
Here we are. Yeah. But I have to say for the record, this is, and I've been around for all of them. This is the worst gaming generation in history. What? It just is. And I say that not so much that there haven't been great games. There's been games this generation. But look at all the issues. Look at all the hoops. Look at just everything. Okay. This is the first generation where you would have been better off buying a console in 2020.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Games, it was cheaper to buy games for this generation in 2020 than stuff like that. Obviously, all the subscription stuff, just the back and forth, just everything that we've seen over the past 5 years in this generation. It doesn't feel it doesn't feel necessarily fun. I guess that's the point I'm trying to make. And hopefully they get a lot of lessons learned. And this is the entire thing. But hopefully they get a lot of lessons learned out of this generation so that when we do go to the next iteration of hardware, next iteration of games, that there's more stability to it. Because right now it's all over the map. You don't know. All that's crazy to me. So as much as I love gaming, I am at my heart, at my core, a cheapskate, and I will always be a cheapskate.
Yeah.
I don't like seeing prices going up. They should be going down. Because you also have to think of this. Part of any console generation was not everyone can afford to buy a console at launch. The whole point was a few years into the generation, as the prices drop and you had the big Christmas, something like that, it becomes more affordable. All right, I can finally trade in my Xbox One and I can go get it. Now, it's even more expensive. So you're not going to do it. So that's what I'm saying. Hopefully something has to give. And we already know, and I'm not expecting the next generation, at least for Xbox anyways, to be that cheap. So my biggest worry with this generation is it's made the hobby more elitist. It's not for everyone like it used to be. And that's my worry, that it used to be anyone can go pick up a console super cheap, you buy the games used or whatever. Now the consoles cost more, prices aren't going down, they're going up. Who can afford this? I'm lucky enough, yes, I can afford it. But that's not the point. The point is everybody being able to afford it. And that's why I do think this is the worst generation ever. I just do.
All right, so I'm gonna call bullshit. You voted for this. You voted for this. Like, listen, we're trying to tell people exclusives, right, is competition. When a company's focused on, hey, I'm going to make exclusives, I'm going to buy this, I'm trying to get people on my platform, I'm this console, those are some of the things they think about. Like, hey, we also got to drop the price, so that way we're more within reach. But now people are like, there's games everywhere. So where's the competition? There isn't any. So they have no incentive to drop the price. Hell, they have more incentive to raise the price, especially if it's against their means because of tariffs. There's no competition. That's why this is all happening. And if you don't like it, where are you going to go? More games are everywhere. He should be happy. He should be loving this gen. You got Game Pass. You got PlayStation games everywhere. You might even get more PlayStation games on Xbox. You got Xbox games on Nintendo. You got games everywhere. There's free-to-plays. Everybody should be in Shangri-La. But it seems like more and more people are not happy. Right? And then I'm like, so what gen are you happy with? Oh, I love the PS3 360 gen. Oh, I love the PS2 and GameCube gen. Oh, I like the PS1, whatever. Oh, so you like the generations when most games were exclusives. And each of the company were battling each other, trying to get you to buy their console. Meaning they were using their games to get you to their console, which means another company's like, man, I got to stop these gamers from going to that console and get them to my console. So we're going to create hardware, drop the price, have exclusive games. We're going to come up with creative ideas. We're going to take more risks on games that may not sell well, but if it's popular enough, people can be like, oh man, this is a pretty cool looking game. Or at least have a game that while it's not a big seller, when you list and it's a big library of games, it's one of the games that was there. Look at Ratchet and Clank. A lot of people talk Ratchet and Clank as an iconic PlayStation IP, but when you look at the sales, none of them sell like off the wall huge. But it's pretty good franchise, and they've been consistent, and it was unique to PlayStation. It wasn't one of those games you could play everywhere. So to me, this is all a byproduct, right? If the companies right now, they're no longer fighting for get you on my platform. If they're putting that, to me, if you're putting games on other platform, you're not really fighting for your platform. You're just not. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to say I'm a fight with my platform, but yet the number one thing about my platform, I'm gonna give it away, right? So now they're all high profit margins, high profitability, doing these little steps, right? They're not interested in dropping the price because where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go? No one else is dropping the price. No one's dropping the price. Microsoft's like, you don't buy our shit anyway, so we're raising the price. PlayStation's like, you're gonna buy my shit anyway. And Nintendo's like, not only are we not dropping the price, I'm gonna raise the price of my own shit. The shit I released in 2017, that's more expensive now. Nintendo's like, yeah, I'm raising my games to $80. Why? Because we're Nintendo. That's why. And you're still not getting voice acting. You're still not gonna get mocap. So shut your mouth and pay that $80. Like you said, get it ready. And people aren't happy. You got more games everywhere than ever before. Why is everybody unhappy?
I'm not
so
unhappy.
You, Craig?
What? No, I mean, I disagree with them respectfully. Look, I like Parris. I'm not going to sit up here and attack, another brother because I disagree with him. I respectfully disagree with him. I personally, for me, this is just because everybody has their different points of view on this. There's been lows in this generation. Lows, not lows. But people keep forgetting that Sony at least only generally outputs 2 to 3 AAA games a year. And that includes people get 2018 mixed up when they had God of War come out from them, but they also had Detroit Become Human, but that wasn't their studio game. And Spider-Man was not their studio game. So I mean they because they were only on PlayStation, it's like, oh well, and like Sean Layton has said, these games that were only on PlayStation, those studios got first party treatment because they were making the games for them. Like Insomniac with Spider-Man. People got to remember the first Spider-Man game, that was an independent studio. Insomniac made that game independently. They weren't owned by Sony until after that game came out. So it's just people who come out to me, they just sound like, well, Sony is supposed to put 5 to 7 games out per year. And it's like, they're not going to do that. Now, if I'm in the Xbox ecosystem, and I had an Xbox for 6 months, I made it in my own mind, that thing wasn't very good. I mean, it was nice to do backwards compatibility. I'm not going to deny that. They really knocked it out of the park. But they just now, and even Phil Spencer mentioned they're now on a cadence where they want to be. They should be able to release, what did they say, 2 AAA games every quarter? That's rough. I mean, that's 6 to 8 a year. So that's good for them. Good for them. I don't have an issue with it. And again, they're a publisher. So I expect them to have that type of output with 52 studios, it seems like. So
yeah.
But I disagree with him. But if he's looking at it from just a Xbox standpoint, it's a bad generation. But, the PC community, they got a lot of new games and new graphics cards, different things they could go buy. The people who like handhelds got a whole lot of stuff. If you like VR, whether you play on PC or on PlayStation, you got a whole bunch of stuff. It just
good point. I didn't even touch on that. Yeah. I didn't touch on the PC handheld. I mean, they're not selling a lot, but they're there.
Yeah. They're there if you want one, right? If I want a ROG Ally, I can.
Technically, you have more options for handhelds than we ever did. You didn't see these many available handhelds before. VR, Meta's
and there's more coming. Yeah, Meta is still doing well. Yeah, that's always going to do well. Yeah, way more options. So it's if you play driving games, you got a whole bunch of driving wheels out now, like a whole bunch. It's not like 1 or 2. There's a whole bunch you can get. So it's unfortunate. I disagree with him respectfully. I'm not going to diss him. For me, I've had a really good generation from playing Miles Morales to playing The Last of Us Remastered to the sound that I love the sound, the 3D sound that we have. So everything for me has gotten better, and they're taking advantage of the technology. That was another thing. I think a lot of people, rightfully so, were like, well, are they even going to take advantage of their technology? Yes, but that takes longer for them to do it, because if they didn't do it, you bitch and moan. And if they did it hastily, you complain it wasn't done very well. So they're trying to balance all that out. It's unfortunate that Parris has had a tough one. I mean, you go back to my day, the Atari 2600 and television. Those were bad generations. Those. I mean, I would say bad, but
some of the games didn't even work. You would buy a brand new game and there's no game.
I remember Demons, man. Yeah, I remember Demons of Diamond on Atari, and I was excited to play Demons of Diamonds, and it was just a green screen. You know, I remember I was crying. I was 8 years old. I was crying over that.
To this day, I still don't know what to do with ET on the 2600.
It's the worst game ever. Yes, they buried all those cartridges in the desert. And they buried all those cartridges in the desert. That's why those people that see UAPs are like, well, they're always in the desert. Well, ET's out there. I mean, they buried the game out there.
That shit was crazy. 2600 was wild. Like, they would sell games, but there was no game on the cartridge. Like, wait a minute, where's the game at?
Yeah. But I'm glad you brought up ET.
Am I lying? I'm not lying, Ghost. That shit was wild, bro. That was the video game.
Yeah.
Like people don't understand the whole Nintendo seal quality. Yeah. There was a reason Nintendo did that, because they're trying to tell you, no, there's an actual game on the cartridge. Atari was crazy, bro. They had no QC control. So you had companies selling games, but there was no game in the cartridge. It was just blank on purpose. She was wild. That game crash was wild. All right.
Yeah, so Ghost, I'm sorry he's had a bad gen, but Ghost, I can only speak for myself. I'm not.
All right. Ghost, I know that's your pet peeve. When you see gamers talking about there's no games, where's gen, and you're like, man, I'm playing all this shit that you don't even have time to play. Like, how the fuck is this possible?
Like, and to piggyback along, Craig's point, like, I'm the perfect person to ask this, because I'm the hardest casual out there. Pause.
Yeah.
Oh man!
Get it ready.
Get me ready.
I buy everything. I've got the 5090. I've got the 4090. I've got the screens. I've got the Xbox. I've got the PlayStation. I've got the handheld. Like, and I can do that just because I can do that. But at the same token, like, I'm having more fun, and part of the reason is because I'm retired and I'm old. But I have more, and then I have a little bit more, disposable time. But this is the best generation of gaming. Like, and I've been gaming since Atari 2600. You know what I'm saying? And this is wildness to me. Like, there are so many different avenues. Like, I'm a huge GT7. I'm a huge racing fan, and that now I can incorporate VR with that. My wife, sometimes she wants to watch TV. And me sit there with her, so I play on the Portal, and she don't trip about it. Like, I've got so many different avenues, and like Craig's point, like, the backwards compatibility on Xbox, it's chef's kiss. It is. You know what I'm saying? If you like those older games, if you like the handheld, I mean, you have every different avenue, and there are so many different variations of games. I mean, you have the resurgence of RPGs, you have racing games, your first-person shooters, you have free to play, you have so many different types of games and genres. And to sit there and say something like that, clout's a hell of a drug, man. That's all I can say.
Oh man, and it's crazy because, go ahead.
I mean, you're playing for the algorithm there, and I because to sit there straight faced and say that, it just boggles my mind. And this is coming from a guy that's not a hardcore gamer or anything. Like, I buy all the games that I want. I don't care about the cost. I'm not tripping about no price. In fact, I want prices to go up. Get you some of you bums out of here. And
this guy eating milk and cookies. Yo,
get it ready.
He getting ready. All right,
get it ready.
And we're gonna hit up Sean real quick. But what's weird is everybody's bragging about games everywhere. This is great for gamers, subscription service. So how is this the worst gen? Like, look at all the things this gen is. You got games everywhere. You got in-depth free-to-plays. You got PC handhelds, which actually have better quality running games than you never had handhelds that played this many like PC level, console level games. Not to this level, right? And you have multiple choices. You don't have to, you have your choice of Lenovo, you have a choice of Asus ROG Ally, MSI Claw, right? Nintendo's popping. They're bigger than they ever been in gaming, right? You got your PlayStation 5, you got the PlayStation 5 Pro, you got your VR from PlayStation, or you could go your VR Meta, right? Or you got the Vibe, or the whatever the fuck. You got various PC configurations. You got laptop gamings. You got You got a lot of shit. You got a lot of people making indie games. You got double A's, you got single A's, you got the big triple A's. Like games everywhere. The problem is, and this is my opinion, is, right? I guarantee if we had exclusives, if we didn't do this cross-gen shit, if we didn't put games on PC, everything was locked in their own ecosystem, everybody would be saying this is one of the best gens. Because now, imagine if just generation, if Miles Morales, Forbidden West, Ragnarok, GT7, what else was exclusive to PS5? Not on PC, not on PS4. All those games. Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2 is already on PS4, but it's on PC, so not even that on PC. Helldivers, only on PlayStation, right? PC has their own games. Xbox, after purchasing Bethesda, Indiana Jones, Starfield, Hellblade, just not even on PC, exclusive to Xbox. Think of all those games Microsoft released, only on Xbox. All the games PlayStation released, only on PlayStation. I guarantee everybody will be talking this gen different. When you need a PlayStation to play all these games, when you need an Xbox to play all these games, people can't help like, oh, look at all the games Xbox buy. Outer Worlds, Hellblade 2, South of Midnight, Gears Reloaded is coming out, Indiana Jones, Starfield, you know what I'm saying? Avowed. Only on Xbox console, nothing else, not even PC. Everybody be saying, damn, Xbox got games. And then on the PlayStation side, obviously Spider-Man 2, not even on PC. Nothing on PC. Spider-Man 2, Forbidden West, God of War Ragnarok, Returnal, Ratchet and Clank, Gran Turismo 7. All those games. Not a single one's on PS4, not a single one's on PC. In that world, everybody was singing a different tune. Because you have all these games and they're locked to just one platform, and everybody be like, man, PlayStation 5 got all the exclusives. No, Xbox got all the exclusives. No, Nintendo got all the exclusives. And nobody will be talking about like this. No one will talking about this. No one's going to say, if the only place for you to play all these games, that one, no one will say this gen sucks. People will be now focusing on which batch of games is better than the other batch of games. The batch of PS5 games versus the batch of Xbox games versus the batch of Nintendo games. It would be the classic. Here's the thing. People saying that fanboying for exclusives is because you love your plastic box. No. Arguing exclusives is games. It's not the box. It's because of the games that you like the box. It's the games making you like the box. It's when you put games everywhere, now you're fanboying about the box. Because that's the only thing left. If games are everywhere, what's the actual difference between these things? It's the literal box. There's nothing because this is the games. Exclusives made you argue about games. When people talk about Super Nintendo and Genesis, it wasn't blast processing versus whatever. I can't even tell you what the Super NES was built with. I don't fucking know. I don't know what hardware it is. Different. But I can tell you it was Mario versus Sonic. I can tell you that. Yeah. That was a game conversation, right? Nintendo pushing Final Fantasy. Sega's pushing Phantasy Star. Nintendo pushing Final Fantasy. I can argue that. It wasn't the hardware that we were arguing about. When you talk exclusives, you're talking games. You can't help but to talk games because that's literally what the argument is. And now you're arguing a library of games versus library of games, and depending what library you like, that's the reason why you like the hardware. It wasn't because of the hardware for the sake of the hardware. It was the library of games. But now with games everywhere, like no one's like, whatever. Look at the games you're gonna get this month. Mafia, Lost Soul Aside, Gears Reloaded. Just this month alone. You're getting multiple big games just in August. But nobody feels like, whatever. You want to know why? And what else? Oh, and Metal Gear Delta. Yeah, Metal Gear Solid Delta.
Oh, yeah, Metal Gear, yeah.
Yeah, the remake. Yeah, the remake. But everybody's like, everybody realizes they're good games, but there's no pizzazz. You want to know why? Because they're not exclusives.
Yeah.
They're not. It's just how it is. Exclusives made gamers talk about games. Right? Now, it's about the hardware, but the hardware is getting more expensive because they're not competing with each other. So now everybody's like in this, this is the worst generation era. I want the old generation. Oh, you mean the old generation when companies competed by making better games than the other company. That's the reason why Sega made Sonic. Sonic was made because Sega needed a competitor in the platforming space. They had to fight Mario. That was the reason why.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, Sega strategized the sports genre, the sports Madden. You know, they got in bed with EA to help facilitate the sports, you know, movement because Nintendo didn't have that really. So they're like, you know what? We could get after our audience with this. That's why they made the Tommy Lasorda baseball, the Joe Montana talking football. You got Madden. Yeah. That's all competition. That's all trying to get people onto your system through games. Buster Douglas boxing, all that shit.
Yep.
You know?
That's an old one, Buster Douglas.
I remember that one. I remember that game too. I remember that.
Yeah, I used to whip my brother's ass in that game, boy. That game. You know what I'm saying? So when you talk exclusives, you're talking games. You're not talking hardware. You're talking games. Sure, you're playing on a particular hardware, but it's because of those games. Those games are attracting you to the hardware. You know? Now that's gone. That's very little of it. And people are like, oh, you just want a console war. And the funny part is, I'm not going to say this is the best gen, but this is definitely not the worst gen. It's not. This gen's not bad at all. It's not bad at all. Sure, it has its issues. And sure, I'm kind of like, man, like these consoles are getting more expensive. But I will say this. If I were to pinpoint one thing this gen did better, because there is one thing this gen did better, is produce better hardware. We have really great hardware this year that actually works, that runs games well. Like almost everything is a premium experience. I don't know about the Series S. That's a whole different conversation. But for the most part, you know what I'm saying? Generally, from a hardware perspective, they got good CPUs and GPUs in these consoles. These consoles are very well made, very good gaming experiences. The DualSense, fantastic. The headphones are great. The VR is lovely. I mean, it's just the Pro, I love it. Great hardware, great suite of hardwares to play these games and great games to play them on. You know, Mafia is Pro enhanced. With VRR, 120 frames or some shit, I'm like, yo, it's fucking great. But some people are extremely happy. This is the worst gen ever. It's the worst gen ever because you can't tie a library to a specific platform. Everything feels generic. And this is why, you know, I try to warn people about. Things get generic and people don't like generic. Nobody likes generic. All this talk about, oh yeah, games everywhere. Nah, you know, you don't like that shit. You don't like generic stuff. Things that are just everywhere. No. It's just, people don't like that. People want to know that each platform holder is trying to curate an experience for their audience, not just be generic and do everything else. Oh, I'm a PlayStation that just does everything else on PC and Xbox. Or I'm an Xbox that does everything else that's on PlayStation and PC. Or I'm a PC playing a bunch of console games at better resolution. Nobody really wants that. People want that curated experience on the platform you buy. You know, based on the games and stuff like that. All this shit's gonna change. I mean, like this whole game's everywhere, right? When companies right now, it's just simply, hey, we got games, we're gonna make extra money and put it on the platform, right? The ports, right? But then eventually, right, all those games you run out, like PlayStation, right? Because you ported them all to PC. Now it's all about your future games you develop, right? And as you develop your future games, you're not gonna develop your future games exclusively with the mindset of, oh, let's build the game around the PlayStation fans. No. Sony's gonna, if they haven't already, building games with PC and PlayStation fans in mind. What type of game are they gonna make that can be successful on both platforms? And if they decide to make the game for Nintendo as well, what type of game would this game be successful on Nintendo, PC, and PlayStation? And if the answer is no, then they probably won't make it. That's what happens when you cater to everybody, because you got to consider it's not going to be the days we're just going to focus strictly on what the PlayStation gamer likes, and then we'll just keep on a PC. No, because if you look at it, the games that was made for PlayStation, they sell about 1 million, 1.5 on PC. So in reality, even the games on PC, but a lot of PC gamers aren't buying them because they don't really care about it. So if you want higher sales on PC, you have to consider what they want as well. I'm telling you now, let me put it this way. Xbox gamers, you're going to see, I'm telling you, over the next 10 years, you're going to see Sony template games coming from Xbox. I guarantee it. You're going to see more games that are third-person, over-the-shoulder, story-driven. You're going to see more of that from Xbox. Because they're like, yo, this PlayStation gamers that are 80 million strong, they love this shit. So we're going to make games that cater to that. And since Xbox got Game Pass, they're not going to mind. They're not buying it anyway. It's just being shoved on their subscription service. But I'm telling you, the Dubro box, that shit is dead. That shit is dead. You're going to see Sony template games in one variation or another because that's a huge sellers on PlayStation. So they're going to look at, man, what do PlayStation gamers like to buy, especially with Microsoft willing to put games day and day on that platform. They're going to consider us. They're going to look at us, what are our habits, and blend it in. So I'm telling you, stand the hell by. If you think Xbox is still the Dubro shooter box, them shits is gone. Other than Halo and Gears, move on from it. What's up?
You're seeing it now. I mean, you're seeing it with Indiana Jones, the Hellblade 2, you know, and those games that, you know, we used to get mocked for, walking simulators. You know what I mean? And that was the go-to joke. But you're seeing more of the Valve, the Starfield, you know, the more of those story-driven RPG element-ish type games over the shoulder third person. You know what I mean? You're seeing it manifesting now. You know, with what Xbox was released in just in the last year and a half. You know, and then they're being ported over to PlayStation. I mean, your Forzas and some of your other games are having good success because that's what they know. They know we're going to buy games, but those are the type of games that the majority of PlayStation gamers will buy or want to, partake in. So yeah. I mean, it's 100. That's 100%. I mean, that's marketing 101.
Yeah. You got to cater to this huge audience you're trying to sell to. You can't avoid them. If you're trying to sell to an expanded market, you got to expand your ideas and how you look at game creation. It can't be focused on that, right? That's why I give Nintendo props, right? Nintendo's just focused on their core audience. They're not going to listen to me when I tell them, hey, do voice acting. They're going to be like, shut the fuck up, Porter Rock. We ain't doing voice acting. We're not doing that. We're not doing mocap. And we're not doing all these advanced graphics. This is what we do. You either like it or you don't like it. But their audience like it, you know? You know, a lot of their audience don't like that mocap voice acting because they think it detracts from the gaming experience. They're like, oh, you guys just want realistic graphics with voice. Man, go watch a movie. We want pure gameplay. And I'd be like, man, you guys are, man, shut your ass up. But the truth is, though, no one's really wrong, though. What I like is what I like. I like the big booty bitches. All right, they like the flat asses. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You know, it is what it is. You know, I wanted to make. I wanted to clap. I like the clap. I like it. Some people
so does Chocolate Thunder. He like the clap.
Say, oh shit! Oh, Paul. I like a clap. You know, I want it. I want that thing. I want that thang to thang. You know, I want the thang to thang. Nintendo gamers saying it detracts from her cooking in the kitchen. They want her in the kitchen. I'd be like, you don't have to be in the kitchen. Just wear lingerie and make a clap. I'm good. You know, but guess what? No one's wrong. If you wanted to clap, you get a PlayStation. If you wanted to sweep, you go on Nintendo. Everyone has you're catering to your own audience, and that's how it should be. You know, Nintendo shouldn't listen to me because I'm not the one who bought the Switch 2. Listen to the people that bought your Switch 2, and they're the ones buying your games. Cater to them. They don't want, you know, the voice acting, the mocaps, and all that. They like the way Nintendo focuses on gameplay, and that's it. Just focus on the gameplay and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool. That's how it should be. You know, I don't want PlayStation to cater to the PC nerds who don't buy the games anyway. You see what I'm saying? This how it should, and that's why everybody's saying, you know, Sean, we're gonna move over to you, but Jada, the topic is Parris Lilly on Colt's podcast says this is the worst gen ever. And given that this guy hyped games everywhere, you could play more games than ever, on more platforms than ever. I was like, wait a minute. This guy's saying this is the worst gen ever. He should be loving this gen more than anybody else. He was one of the big proponents of, like, man, this is great. Yeah. More gamers get to play. Anyway, Sean, what you think, Sean? How's this generation for you?
I feel like the generation's been great, man. Because, like I said, people sleep on the indies, man. Like, since I be in the trenches, I play everything. So when they say they don't have games, they have tons of games, my guy. I don't think that. I don't think this is the worst generation at all. Just from my experience.
What do you like? How about this? What do you like about this generation?
Oh, well, as far as the PS5, I like the fact the loading is freaking fast. I like
Oh, I
that.
know what you know what? That's not a lie.
The load on the
That's
PS4,
not a lie. I'm a loading
it's fast.
snob.
Instantaneously.
If that shit, listen, if that's more than 0.8 seconds, we have a problem. Like now,
man.
I'm a loading snob. I don't want to see that shit. I want I'll be honest, man. I can't go back. Yeah, I'll be honest. That's the truth, man. It's just great. You know what that is? You just get in the game as fast as possible. Bro, I'm used to, remember old school yo, listen. Oh, I'm gonna say this right now. Rockstar, don't be fucking with us. Don't be doing them 5-minute loading screens. You remember them shits, right? Grand Theft Auto 3? You boot it up and you waiting. They showing like comic books. Well, you waiting for that game to load. Nah, we not trying to do that. I want you to zoom in on the game and load. Like, boom.
Facts.
Don't be doing that, Rockstar. I ain't trying to wait 3 minutes every time I boot up Grand Theft Auto 6.
Facts.
Nah, I can't do it. I'm a loading snob.
It should need to take me straight into the game.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it, bro. Let's not do it, right? Okay, so all right, so loading. Anything else? You got 1,000 platinum, so I know you liking some shit.
Oh yeah, like the boomer shooters, man. They got so many boomer shooters out there, man. Like,
what's a boomer shooter?
Like, you know, Doom's like Doom, Quake.
Oh, Doom.
You know,
okay.
So they got indie games
on the indie
like
side.
That too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. And then also you got to think about the indie horror games. Like they've been stepping up. They've been stepping up this year. This
I ain't gonna lie. I see streamers on TikTok. Those are fun. Those guys are funny because they play the hard games. But the funny part is they act like they're really scared. Like you a grown ass man.
All the time.
That's what's funny. They're like looking. They're like, oh my god. Oh no, I shouldn't go in there. I'm like, man, I'm just like, man, this is some grade A acting right here. This shit is hilarious. All right, man. J-Dub. Is this the worst generation ever? Ever?
No, I actually think it's one of the best generations ever. I'm actually
capping, straight capping.
Yeah. Oh man, stop me out,
man.
Listen, I'm actually shocked that Parris said this is one of the worst generations, given the fact that he's gotten everything that he basically asked for. Yeah, right.
On the free, yeah.
well, not only that, he has the self-proclaimed best service, which is Game Pass.
This
he
is
hyped
right
that
now.
up, right?
This is J-Dub right now.
Listen,
this is J-Dub.
Parris, listen again. From his point of view, you would think this is one of the best generation.
The cap.
He had the world's most powerful console for 4 years, right?
Yeah, 12 T-Flops and 52 CU.
He had the power. He had Game Pass. Now he's gonna get PC, right? He's gonna get Steam on his Xbox. At like, what else do you want, right? What else from me looking at him, his point of view? To me, it's one of the best generations ever.
Hey, stop, real quick. The chat. Shout out to Genius. He goes, "Oh shit, Porok, where you from? Is it not obvious?
Man.
Is it not obvious? Is it not obvious? My guy."
Come
like
on,
it's
man.
literally
Y'all
like is it not St. Louis?
No, man.
I'm from St. Louis.
Everybody in here know Puerto Rico from Montana. Come on now.
Montana. You know what I'm saying? From the mountains of Montana. Oh, snap.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Jado. Go ahead.
But that's Parris' point of view. But let's face it. Any of those guys that have gotten free stuff, and no knock to them, right? If I was getting free shit, my integrity is, is always purchasable. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how dollars it is. You know what I'm saying? I can bleed green if the price is right.
With the price is right.
Yeah, if the price is right. But to me, man. It's I'm not saying it's the best generation, but it's one of the best generation. It's just, hey man, it's my hardware was better than it was last generation.
But not even close. It's probably the best PlayStation hardware, period.
Yeah,
for its time.
Right?
Like in relation, not directly compared, but for this generation, PS5 is handing this generation better than the other consoles for their generation by far. Not even close.
Absolutely. And to me, I think this generation had a better launch than last generation with the launch titles, right? We had Miles Morales and stuff like that, and Astrobot and all kind of, which is there was we didn't have to wait. For example, we always talk about last generation in the lack of games or the lack of quality games that launch with. We always tease about the kill zone and how PlayStation was sparse until year number 4 or some stuff. So to each his own. To each his own. But man, it launched with Demon Souls. It launched with Miles Morales. I'm just saying, if we go back and look, and then even right after the launch,
and then the following year, you got Returnal and Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah,
like in 2021.
And not only that, like we had fucking Gran Turismo, Puerto Rock's favorite game in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And he got to drive. He didn't have to wait too long to,
Nope.
and,
Absolutely.
And then
doing them lefts all day.
Yeah. And then
Perfected
the fact, listen, we got we got the Final Fantasies. We just got so many third party games that just fully came over.
Hey, back to back Final Fantasies, right? We got Final Fantasy 16 in 2023. Yes. And then Final Fantasy 7 Remake in 24. When did it come out? Rebirth come out? Last year, right? Yeah. So back to back Final Fantasies.
Yeah. And I guarantee you, at the Game Awards, Square Enix is going to show a trailer of the final episode of Final Fantasy, whatever that's going to be titled.
Oh yeah,
the
third one. Yeah,
they're going to announce it. They're going to announce it for.
Yeah, man, we're getting. So games are great. We getting look this month alone. We got Mafia. What is it? The Old Town. What is it called?
Old Country,
right? And Old Country, and you can skip driving.
Yeah,
fire.
The best part, right, Puerto Rock?
That's next gen. That's next gen right there. That's next gen. I'm calling Uber. That's next gen right there. Skipping stuff like that. Let me do some quick super chats real quick.
Go ahead.
What we got? We're gonna start off with Glenza. Dom Matrix should be on Switch 2 marketing. If you don't like the game keys, we got a console for y'all, the first Switch. So we're raising the price. Oh man!
Oh no! Come on!
We're raising the price.
Oh man!
You don't want our game keys? You're gonna have to pay for it. Oh man! Gordo P23. It was the worst gen for Xbox, not gaming. Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh shit!
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
I agree.
Nintendo sitting good. PlayStation sitting good. The only people that's complaining
PC sitting good.
Even PC.
Yeah. Psycho Gamer. Nintendo is the number one company we should boycott. Facts. But like Go said, motherfuckers bought Labo. You ain't boycott. You can buy cardboard. I forgot about that. I cannot believe they got away with that. They got away with Labo. This shit is wild, bro. They got away with it. Glinzer says Xbox creamed. Xbox creamed themselves when MS acquired big studios. Now those games sell better for Sony, and it's the worst gen. Time to stock up on Kleenex. That's a good truth because they were they stood up for the court case. They were up like at 3 a.m. waiting for the verdict. And this is the worst gen.
Puerto Rock. To be fair,
these motherfuckers were in love with Lulu Chang. What's her name? Lulu Chang.
Lulu. Yeah.
They were all up. Hi, Lulu. They were like, they were all up Lulu Chang's skirt. And this is the worst gen?
Oh, man. Yeah.
To be fair, this isn't the worst generation of Xbox. It's the worst generation of Xbox journalists. Like it's
oh man. I can believe that. I believe that.
Yeah, you got people out there like Jack Reach.
I can believe that.
This is detrimental to them.
This is the worst gen for Xbox content creators.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Now,
Absolutely.
now they've been relegated to the PC crowd. Now they hyping up Steam and and fucking Xbox branded, you know, components.
I
Oh,
told you.
Uh,
I can't I
I told you,
can't wait to
clout was
be
a hell
able
of a
to,
drug.
bro.
Clout,
It
yeah.
is.
The
This shit is
grift, boy.
crazy.
They now they're hyping
Crazy.
Xbox tatted products.
Yeah.
That's all they give shit. That's it.
Oh my
All right,
God.
Rome. Shout out to Rome. He said, "Remember, guys, no Totoki slander will be tolerated." Oh, he's getting this work. Yo, for real. I might make a whole documentary on this punk ass.
Oh,
Oh
man.
man.
I'm gonna go King Thrash on his ass. Watch, I'm gonna
Oh,
find all his dark
Oh
secrets.
no.
I'm gonna find all his dark secrets. I can't stand that dude.
Oh, man.
Unless he gives me a job, then we cool. Psycho Gamer. Psycho Gamer. What generation was worse than this one?
Shit.
The
Worse than this?
2600. The Atari 2600.
Yeah.
They literally were selling cartridges with no games
Yeah.
on
They
purpose.
literally had to bury fucking games in the desert. Think about that. Just think about that. I mean, that's like, come on, man.
That's crazy.
It caused a video game crash.
Yeah,
you can't
but to be
say-
fair,
The worst generation was the one that caused the video game crash. That's the worst generation. You know,
That's
that
true.
was
That's
bad. That was bad. It literally caused a crash. So,
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, to this day, I still don't know what to do in ET.
Mm-hmm.
They never finished
Right?
the game. There's no
yeah.
ending. Oh, man, I tried
Oh,
so hard
it
to beat
ends.
that game. It doesn't
No, it
end.
doesn't
I don't
end.
think
It
it
doesn't
is.
end.
I don't think it. Like,
No,
I don't think
it's
they
a
have an
broken
ending.
game.
It's a broken game. This is the worst. They nominated as the
they
worst
made
game
it in
ever
like
made.
3 weeks. Yeah, they made it in like 3 weeks. It was, yeah.
Yeah, it never finishes. They didn't know how to end it, so they just left it like that.
Yeah.
You know what? That's crazy. You just make a decision.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it, just launch it anyway.
Yeah. They had to do it by the movie. And that's the product that they got.
That shit is hilarious.
And they did that
All
game
right,
in 30 days. A lot of people don't realize that.
Oh, yeah, I
shit.
thought 3 weeks, but yeah, I mean, again,
30
they had
days. It's like a
the
horror
movie
30
launching. It gotta launch. They said it don't
30
matter.
30 days later. What a horrible. Yeah. Rome. He says, put it on PC and Xbox.
Yeah. But
All right.
But Puerto Rock, the reason this is the worst generation for Xbox is because this is the first generation where Microsoft literally spent $100 billion trying to make Xbox relevant and still couldn't do it. With $100 billion investment.
Mm-hmm.
And it ended up selling less consoles than last generation. Think about that.
Facts.
That was
That's
money
right.
just out the door. Literally out the door. So that's why it's the worst generation ever for Xbox.
I'm gonna bring up a point that was Chris Jing make, but let me do the super chat with Liquid Data with the 50. He dropping 50, so he really wants to say, he's saying this with his whole chest. Liquid Data says, as a gamer who started on Atari 2600, I've been able to see gaming from then till now, and I want FPS resolution and gameplay. And no, I'm eating this gen. It seems like these new gamers are vegetarians instead of omnivores. I feel you, man. There's a lot of shit. Like I'm saying, like everybody's a proponent of games everywhere. That is happening. You got PC handhelds of I never seen so many actual handhelds to choose from that are to a certain level of quality to play most games. You know, the MSI Claw, the Asus ROG Ally, Legion, the Lenovo Legion Go, Steam Deck. That's a lot of shit. Look at VR. You got whatever, the Vive, you got Meta, PlayStation 2 VR, you got mad choices, right? Back then, VR was didn't work. Like, this shit didn't work. Even 3D didn't work. It just didn't work. But they try to sell something that didn't work. Now it actually works. Like, VR actually is VR this gen. Like, we actually have VR gaming. Like, you guys could play Gran Turismo 7 driving on a track in VR, and it's legit. It is absolutely a legit experience, right? You got insane amount of indies, you got insane amount of single A's and double A's, and you got the triple A's, all in generally good performing hardware across the board, minus the Series S. That might be, the little stickler, right? But for the most part, Series X, PS5, PS5 Pro, various PC configurations, you generally got an entire gen of good hardware that runs these games. What are people complaining about? You know what they're complaining about? That they can't identify libraries to a platform like you can back in the past. The Nintendo library, the Dreamcast library, the PS2 library, the Xbox library, even the TurboGrafx 16s and all that stuff. Those are gone. And I guarantee people are having this feeling of generic. You know what I'm saying? Because everything's everywhere, nothing feels special. It's just another multiplayer that's everywhere, and some people just aren't excited. They don't have the fight, the fight between Xbox and PlayStation, the fight between PlayStation and Nintendo, the fight between Nintendo and Sega. They don't have that fight. That fight's not there, right? So no one can really say, like, man, look at this platform. Like I said, and I said earlier in Extreme, you could chime in on this, but I said earlier, if this gen was the old way, where you didn't have cross-gen, and you didn't have PC because PC doesn't look bad or it's not the enemy. No, everything's the enemy. Imagine a PS5 today where Miles Morales is exclusive, GT7, Forbidden West, whatchamacallit. All of that is exclusive. Not one single game is on PS4 or PC. All of it. This is the only place to play it. Imagine an Xbox with South of Midnight, Starfield, Helldivers, Outer Worlds. Every game is only on the Xbox console, not even PC. Only on the console. And PC has to have its own library games that defines PC. It's not getting console leftovers or console ports. No. The console stays on their respective consoles. So Nintendo got their library, Xbox got their library, PlayStation got their library. Specifically on their new consoles, no cross-gen or nothing. It will be a totally different conversation this gen because everybody will be talking about the games. Everybody will be talking about the specific games that are on PlayStation. Everybody will be talking about the specific games that are on Xbox. Everybody will be talking about the specific games that are on PC. That's not on consoles. And everybody will be talking about the specific games on Nintendo. That would be the conversation everyone's having, which is not a fanboy plastic console conversation. It is literally gaming conversation. It is people talking about gaming libraries. And as every game catches up, let's say if Xbox has, X Reloaded and Ninja Gaiden, those would be only Xbox consoles games. That's it. Can't play it on PC. While PlayStation stacking their deck with Death Stranding and Ghost of Yotai, and Nintendo stacking their deck. And every game that comes out, it just increases the library for that specific brand. Everybody will be talking about that. Everybody will be talking about this growth of console games on the PlayStation, only on the PS5. Everybody will be talking about all these games on Xbox Series consoles that's only on the console. And everybody will be talking about Nintendo. And that will be the argument. The argument wouldn't be on RDNA, UDNA bullshit. We wouldn't be having it. We would be too busy trying to argue which is the better library. Who has the better library of games based on their audience taste? That's gaming conversation. No one's doing that.
Yeah.
We're not having that no more.
I'll push back a little bit on that, Porter Rock. And I'll agree with you 95%. The only pushback I have on that is the fact that you still have third party where the bulk of gamers play. And what really destroy that mindset of, hey, this game can be only played here or there, is that the bulk of gamers saw fit to play the third-party games, which is the Fortnites, the Apex Legends, and all of those games where they traditionally play them. That's where the bulk of gamers spend their money and time. And
we always had that. We had that. Grand Theft Auto, when you look at Call of Duty, like think about it this way. You mentioned PS5 had probably one of the better launches. You ask most people, they're going to say no. And you know why? Because they're going to say, I could play that on PS4. I could play Miles Morales on PS4. And I understand what you're saying. And I agree with you. But because it's on PS4, they're like, PS5 don't have a great launch. I could play that on PS4. Why do I need a PS5? Oh, you got, Forbidden West, PS4. Oh, Gran Turismo 7, PS4. Ragnarok.
Yeah,
PS4.
that's true. But
you see what I'm saying?
You're asking a hardcore person a question, but the person who's going to give you who's answering you back is the guy who didn't upgrade, the guy who has the PS4. Those are two different things. With a hardcore, I buy everything, you buy everything day one. That's just our outlook is totally different than the guy who's going to stick to the PS4 until the end of the generation. Like
But
I don't even.
but they only did it because they can. Call of
Absolutely.
Duty is still coming out on the PS4. If you would have stripped Call of Duty 3 years ago, that's it. They would have moved on to the PS5. If
That's
you would
true.
have stripped Miles Morales day
Well,
one,
I don't think,
the people who stood on PlayStation 4 for Miles Morales, they would have had no choice. You got
I
no
don't-
content on the old shit, so there's nothing there. Unless you just care about Fortnite and that's it.
Yeah.
You got no other content to stay on.
It's the Madden and the 2K and the FIFA guys.
You know,
That's
but
the
again,
bulk. They're
but even
not gonna-
even back then, those games got cut too after like a year or two. Like, hey, the new FIFA, the new Madden is on PS5, so deal with it. So after a while,
listen,
you're like, after a
my
while, you
brother-
have this old concept that's like, whatever.
My
You see
brother
what I'm
is that
saying?
casual right now that still will buy a 2K. He'll still buy Madden on his PS4
Because it's available.
when even when even like you
What
can't
happens?
for- you,
Yes, you can. I'm just saying, what
I just
happens when they
wanna-
say, hey, you can't play Madden and 2K on PS4? Then what do? They're gonna be like,
Yeah,
oh,
but,
shit.
but what
say
I'm
this.
saying, I'm saying is third party. Even all these generations, they've still had a long cross-gen cycle.
I know.
Yeah, actually, I just want to speak to that point because you said that if Miles Morales was exclusive to the PS5, those people would have moved. If we're talking about the casual market, I think that's a bit of a misnomer because if you're talking about service gamers, we've had this type for a long time. You know, for example, on the PS3, FIFA 19 was released on the PS3. That's 2018. So that's 5 years after the PS4. So this long tail cycle that we've had for these live service games, they're not actually that far out of out of alignment with the previous generations because 2025 is 5 years after the PS5. So FIFA 19 is exactly in line with that. Now they could go further. They could go like FIFA 26, FIFA 27 on the PS4 as well. But I'm saying is that the service type games have always hung around for a long, long time on the previous generation. So there's definitely people that were going to wait anyway. But before I go on to speak about this, what did Parris say exactly? What was his word?
This is the worst. This was the worst genre. This is the worst generation of gaming ever.
Was this just on a tweet or was there like
No, it's
context behind that?
I'll play the video for you so you can see the full context. I will play it again. Give me a second. Let me go back to it. And I think it's 48. Let me go. Okay. All right, I'm gonna put it up on the screen. It's actually for anyone who just hopped onto the show.
Here we are. Yeah, but I have to say for the record, this is, and I've been around for all of them. This is the worst gaming generation in history. What? It just is. And I say that not so much that there haven't been great games this generation, but look at all the issues. Look at all the hoops. Look at just everything. Okay. This is the first generation where you would have been better off buying a console in 2020.
Yeah.
That's his mic.
Gaming for games. It was cheaper to buy games for this generation in 2020 than stuff like that. Obviously, all the subscription stuff, just the back and forth, just everything that we've seen over the past 5 years in this generation. It doesn't feel necessarily fun. I guess that's the point I'm trying to make. And hopefully they get a lot of lessons learned. And this is the entire thing. But hopefully they get a lot of lessons learned out of this generation so that when we do go to the next iteration of hardware, next iteration of games, that there's more stability to it. Because right now it's all over the map. You don't know. All that's crazy to me. So as much as I love gaming, I am at my heart, at my core, a cheapskate, and I will always be a cheapskate.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't like seeing prices going up. They should be going down. Because you also have to think of this. Part of any console generation was not everyone can afford to buy a console at launch. The whole point was a few years into the generation, as the prices drop and you had the big Christmas, something like that, it becomes more affordable. All right, I can finally trade in my Xbox One and I can go get a Now, it's even more expensive. So you're not going to do it. So that's what I'm saying. Hopefully, something has to give. And we already know, and I'm not expecting the next generation, at least for Xbox anyways, to be that cheap. So my biggest worry with this generation is it's made the hobby more elitist. It's not for everyone like it used to be. And that's my worry, that it used to be anyone can go pick up a console super cheap, you buy the games used or whatever. Now the consoles cost more, prices aren't going down, they're going up. Who can afford this? I'm lucky enough, yes, I can afford it. But that's not the point. The point is everybody being able to afford it. And that's why I do think this is the worst generation ever. I just do.
Man, fuck that guy.
I did a video that
So, what do you think? He said, "Fuck that guy." Oh,
That is such
I
a
felt
bullshit
that.
point. I'm sorry. The price
I
thing,
felt
listen. None of us want things to be more expensive. It's absolutely, we can absolutely understand that. But the hobby was never meant to be like cheap. It was never meant to be a cheap hobby. People say all the time, even though I disagree, but people say that gaming is an expensive hobby. So we have that phrase around for a reason. It was never meant to be cheap. Like, I'm sorry, when I was like, I don't know, in Cameroon and, it's PS2 days, that shit wasn't cheap. That shit wasn't like accessible price wise. It was always going to be something where it's like, yeah, there is going to be a cost to it, like anything in life. That's fine. And while I do lament the fact that the consoles haven't gone down in price. I don't think that price is that high a barrier. I don't think that $500 for so $450 for a digital PS5 for most people is
It's
that big a
$399.
barrier. I'm just like, no. And if you wait for the sales, you can still get good deals. So no, the price it's not gone to $4,000. It's not like a GPU price. Like GPU prices, they've gone up. Like you take a look at where the 70 series used to lie price wise versus now. Yeah, it's really different, especially if you are not in the US. Like I don't know. I just think it's silly to say that. Now let's talk about hardware and software. Hardware wise, this is the best generation ever. It's not even close, right? If you look at the PlayStation family of hardware just alone, you have the console itself, which is an amazing value. You have the mid-cycle update, which is an actual mid-cycle update, right? Not the bullshit that we had on PS4 Pro. You have the Portal, which gives you another great accessory for those who like it. You have VR for those who want that. What else do we have? Oh, you have the Edge controller, which is a premium controller, one of the best that's available. You have the new Fight Stick coming out, which is going to be, if everything else has been to an excellent level, it should also be an excellent accessory for those who are going to want that. PlayStation, in terms of hardware this generation, has really hit it out of the park. And for everybody that is worried about the cross generation period at the beginning, don't worry, because you'll be compensated by the cross generation period at the end. Like, they're going to keep bringing out games for the PS5 until you become a grandfather, if you're not already. If you're a grandfather already, until your children become grandfathers, that's where the PS5 is going to last. So that is what we're going to have. So I guess you'll be compensated on that side because it was going to have such an amazing long tail. It's an amazing hardware. Software wise, if you're talking about just the console UI just the PlayStation side, I think it is cool. It is sleek. Is it missing some things that we want? Absolutely. Is it perfect? Of course not. But it gets you into the games. It loads up quickly, and it does what it's supposed to do. I've always said the very first time that I got the PS5, I said this console does its best to get out of your way. And it just loads up the game as quick as you can imagine it, and boom, it's really great. If we're talking about the games, I mean, come on, the games have been, and I think some people have spoken about this, so I'll just make this really quick. But this is the first generation where indie developers are genuinely not as it's good for an indie game, but they are genuinely in the game of the year conversations. They're genuinely in the game of the generation conversations. This year alone, you have Split Fiction, you have Clear Obscure Expedition 33. All of these games are genuinely there with the big ones. They are next to the Ghost of Yote. They are next to the games that come from like the EAs and the established publishers and everything like that. That didn't happen before. Before we had like the one, wonder hit that came out from an indie developer, and that was like, once every few years. Now we have that every year. Every single year, there has been a game from an indie studio that stands up tall right next to the biggest games from the biggest publishers with the most budget, the most money, and the highest teams. It is such a great thing to be able to sample diversity and choice and variety. If you don't feel that you have been given more options this generation, that's a you thing. That is literally just the way that you've decided to curate your library, and you have the right to do that. But it is ignorant to then, when you're talking about a wider conversation, not take that into account. And that's just the indie side. The double A side is looking more and more AAA. Like I'm playing Banisher's Ghost of New Eden, which I will classify as a double A game. That shit looks great. It's fantastic, and it has good fundamental gameplay. This is another thing that people don't realize, but it's like by this time we've gotten like controls right. Yeah, like we don't jump with triangle anymore. You know what I mean? Like we don't shoot with square anymore. We like the fundamental layout for games, the control scheme for most games. We've understood what feels good ergonomically. So gameplay fundamentals have been learned from the shoulders of giants. We stood on them. So like most games come out with good, solid gameplay fundamentals. I was playing like Evil West, and it's like, yeah, it has a good core, gameplay core. You may not think it's the best, 10 out of 10 gameplay and everything like that, but it's like most games don't feel bad to play. Not all of them feel good to play, but most of them don't feel bad to play. You know what I mean? Like, even when the gameplay itself is kind of lacking, like I was playing, what is it, Hellblade 2. Hellblade 2 kind of has lacking gameplay, but it doesn't feel like you're fighting your controller anymore. This is one of the reasons that I refuse to play games that are 10 plus years old, because I go back to those old grindy mechanics and I'm like, why do we put reload on X? Why do we do that? Why do we dodge with triangle? What are we doing? Like,
Facts.
I'm telling you that we have made such good progress. And again, in terms of like the software library that we've been able to have, absolutely fantastic. Listen, I think that most people ironically focus on the performance or the output of first party developers. And then those exact same people turn around and say that, oh, people don't buy a PlayStation or an Xbox for the exclusives. But it's like you judge the generation exclusively from first party studios, which is weird to me. That's a weird double thing that you do. So you say that this thing doesn't matter to most people, and yet that is the thing that you want to judge the entire generation by. Because a lot of the times they're like, oh, well, Sony hasn't put enough games. So it's like, okay, but you're talking the generation. So are we going to dismiss all of third-party games now because only Sony matters in this conversation? Or they will say things like, oh, Xbox puts the games on PC. But it's like, okay, cool. But you're the one that argues that people don't buy for exclusives. So why is it that they don't have exclusives? Why does that now matter to judge this generation by? And yet, when you are in the wider conversation of everything else, you're like, oh yeah, put games everywhere. It doesn't matter. Exclusivity is a bad thing. So I don't understand that double standard. Either exclusives matter or they do not. So if you don't care about exclusives, then you can bring up first party as a point of contention, because first party is meant to put out exclusives, because then they're just all third party, right? They all become part of the wider gaming output. So it doesn't matter if one studio or one particular publisher hasn't pulled this way. Like no one ever goes like, oh yeah, this generation doesn't matter because there were not enough games from THQ. The fuck? Like that doesn't matter.
Right.
So it's like either
and to add to you your
ahead.
point, what exactly you're saying, to add to that, let's not act like these two companies or these two console manufacturers or these two opponents, one opponent gave up, right, and decided to become a third party publisher. So that that's the first time that has happened in the middle of a generation. And so now Microsoft has to cater to everybody. So they're equivalent to the EA and Ubisofts and Capcoms and stuff like that. So that's
Mhm.
why that makes it even more harder to try to hold that standard. It's like, let's face it, this was a two-man race, and now it's just a one-man race. That's never happened before to this capacity. So, like, we started this generation off just like Microsoft went out there and said, "Hey, this is going to be the best generation ever. We got the most power." Sony went out there saying why you should buy their console, and then like it launched in November of 2020, and it's like just like it did every generation.
Right.
And like a couple of years into it, Microsoft is like, "Fuck this. We can't compete. We can't do this. We're gonna spend $100 billion, buy up a third of the industry, and just support everybody." And it's like, I know Xbox is still there, but their hardware is invalidated. It's not even valid anymore because they're basically giving up on their hardware, and they're a third party publisher. They're out there
Right.
bragging that we sold more games on PlayStation and Xbox and every place else than EA, than Ubisoft, than Capcom, than Nintendo. So it's like it's a whole different mindset of that. So that whole going like back in the day, we used to go even last generation. We used to go game for game. Listen, Bloodborne is better than uh like call it whatever for whatever Xbox game that was there, let's say Forza, let's say Halo
Mhm.
or whatever, right? That was the discussion last generation and the generation before that and the generation before that. That is no longer a discussion going forward ever again in gaming, ever. It's just not. So when we look at Microsoft, we need to look at them like we do Capcom, EA, and stuff like that. And I get it; it's going to take some time because we're just so used to doing this with the whole Xbox versus PlayStation thing. That shit is done. I'll say that like for months now. It's bro, this shit is it's over. So now you got to recalibrate your thinking, and it's like, hey, listen, I bought a PlayStation at the beginning of this generation. What is it doing for me? Is this the best place to play the games? Well, hardware wise, even though on paper the PS5 is not more powerful than the Series X, its majority of the games is outperforming the Series X, or it's been keeping them neck and neck. Plus, it's you can get one for $399. Plus, if you like VR, it offers VR support. If you like a badass next generation controller, you can get you a DualSense Edge, right? If you like the latest greatest headphones and earbuds and stuff like that, hey, they offer that too. They offer you a handheld, right? They offer all this stuff that's supporting that platform. That's why, to me, I say this generation was a step ahead, right? For those particular reasons where it solved the need and it's continuously supporting. On the Xbox front, I bought an X Series X. It didn't live up to its potential. It was hamstrung by the Series S, and we have yet to see what the Xbox Series X can do, and we probably won't, right? We probably never, just like we didn't with the Xbox One X. We never saw its potential. Um, but even next generation, when we start these things again, it's like it's not even the same thing. They're just gonna Sony will drop a PlayStation 6, and Xbox is gonna let Lenovo, Dell, um, MSI, Asus do whatever they want to do and slap an Xbox sticker on it and then just let that go. The game is different. It is no longer, Nintendo, they're in their own lane, so they do their own thing. They launch when they want to, they support their base how they want to. They don't give a fuck what Xbox is doing. They don't give a fuck about what Nintendo's doing. That's different than the previous generations we had, especially when we go back to the days of when Sega was there and PlayStation was there and Nintendo was there and on and on and on. It's just things are just different.
Mm.
I mean, I would
So
just want to say also that when you talk about the Xbox side of things, I can definitely understand the disappointment. Listen, at the beginning, Xbox came out swinging, but they had the wrong coach, right? This whole Series S and X strategy, it was never going to work. Now, when he talked at part of his topic there, when he was talking like, oh, they need to learn lessons. Yeah, you should have learned that you shouldn't have come out with three things. And people already knew that. I think Xbox wasn't the first to try the two console strategy out of the console manufacturers of the past. I think there was already one that tried. Wasn't that the Sega where they had way too many consoles at the time at the market?
Yes,
So
they had the 32X.
yeah,
Then they had Sega CDs.
Sega
But
Then
they
they
didn't come out
CD
at
had
the same time,
at the
right?
same
Like they were
time.
all different. Yeah, they were
Hmm.
staggered, you know. But anyways, it was a bad bet. I think like any industry consultants, if I talk to any developers, like if they had actually built this thing in line with developers, I told them like, hey, you're fucking this up. Like, give us the big guy. Forget about this other one. If anything, use more of your R&D to come up with a better controller or make the Series X even better. Like, because that's just silly. You're just doing twice the work, for half of the impact. So I think it definitely came out swinging, but it just had the wrong strategy, and that's okay because unlike what people are saying, the industry doesn't move until the market moves, and gamers, you are the market. If the industry tries to move in a way that you don't like, that that doesn't last. This double console strategy, Microsoft tried it, and you people voted no. That's basically it. You decided that
true.
ultimately, yeah, you are not for that because it turned out that the only real people who actually bought the console were the little Timmies, were the people who were looking for just the cheapest thing, and you can never have a luxury good, a luxury hobby that is based off the cheapest population because they're just looking for a deal. You need actual people to make money off of. So that's why I always say go for the premium stuff. And this works, by the way, for like your small businesses. Listen, guys, it is a lot hard. It's really hard to convince like 200 people in a month to interact with your business, whether that is photography, like doesn't matter, dog walking, like whatever it is that you do, like you try to do like either side gig or even your primary role. If you try to be an entrepreneur, convincing a large amount of people is a bad thing. Better, you just have 10 people, but you charge them a premium price. You can deliver a better service, you can make more money, it's less stressful for you overall, and it's just a lot easier to find those 10 people consistently. So for me, I've always said that listen, go more premium with the hobby. It's okay. People will save up if your product is good enough. People always find a way to buy iPhones. Like I'm just
Right.
like, yo, that's just a $2,000 device every year. People, there are people out there with Galaxy Folds. These people, they are living paycheck to paycheck, but they were like, hey, I want that cool phone that folds in half. And no shame to them. That's what they wanted. That was the value they wanted. They did what they needed to do. They acquired the thing that they wanted. That's perfectly fine. But no, this whole thing is like, yo, Xbox hardware has been disappointed because after that, after they realized that they had fucked up with the Series S, no matter what they say, they didn't try anymore. And I think that definitely speaks to what J-Dub was saying. Like there was no mid-cycle update, even though people wanted it. They didn't do VR, even though they had promised it for the last generation. So
Yep.
if they didn't do it then, they could have done it now. They didn't even give you a dedicated handheld. They saw the success of the Portal, and instead of just like investigating that, wait a second, why don't we do that? Because at the end of the day, it's only $200 device, and it does. PlayStation's coming out here like, oh look, people extend the playtime with our Portal. People buy more games with the Portal. People play more often with the Portal. People have like a 30% more interaction with the platform with the Portal. Like 30% is huge. Like when you're spreading over tens of
Yeah.
millions of people, 30% more interaction from a device that only costs you like what, $150 to put together, and you sell it for 200. Like I don't know. That's like a winning thing right there. They could have easily done it, and they have been already investigating this whole cloud streaming thing. So if you think about it, shouldn't they have been more prepared for it? And everything like that. But no, the thing is,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, hardware-wise, Xbox gave up. Now, software-wise, they decided to purchase everyone. And for some reason, I don't think they really thought through what it would be like to try to manage like 12,000 more people. I
Facts.
think they really thought we could just let it run on its own. And, I think they completely underestimated what it would be like to manage 12,000 more people and the pressure that they will get from the investors now when they've decided to take out the biggest loan in company history to the tune of like a fucking, I don't know, fighter plane of 17 of them. Just like, what the hell are you doing? I don't think that they really thought through what it would mean. I think what they were looking for is that they were desperate to make their platform relevant, and they kind of got away with ZeniMax, and they should have stopped there. They really should have. Because
I
if we
agree.
had stopped in the ZeniMax days, remember everybody was saying Starfield was going to be exclusive, and it ended up being, right? Everybody loved exclusives. After ZeniMax, people were like, yep, this is big daddy money, but it wasn't so much. Like, it was like, yeah, your father is rich, but it wasn't like, oh, your father bought you a yacht. Like, it was just one of those things like, oh, your dad got you a Mercedes. He didn't buy you a super yacht. And when they got the super yacht money, suddenly dad was like, hey, what are your grades actually? Like, I never check on those. How are you doing at school? How's your side business going? All of these promises that you made in the last 10 years, how is that going on? And it turns out that daddy wasn't happy with what they saw, So I think that hardware-wise and software-wise is been compromised because they've done some good things, but when you pay $70 billion just to put it everywhere, and that condemns your other games as well to be everywhere, yeah, like, of course it's a shit generation. Because like J-Dub said at the beginning of my talk, $100 billion to just be irrelevant, to be more irrelevant than you were before, actually, if you think about it. Like, that was $100 billion shovel, because now all of the games are everywhere. That's crazy. That is crazy. The dog really deep with that one. Nintendo does what Nintendo does. It's slightly better than the previous thing that people really liked. They are going to sell a lot of it. They come up with games. Those games please, the audience that they please. I don't think that Nintendo gamers are going to have any complaints really at the end of the Switch 2 generation about how it went. I mean, these are people that bought cardboard before and are really happy about it. So, the Nintendo Switch 2 is at least better than that, and they can always claim that they have some of the best, most enjoyable games that they made for children every single generation. So at least there's that, Nintendo, always for the kids at heart. So fantastic there. I think that this generation overall has been great, minus Xbox.
All right, going through the super chats. We got, here we go, what it says. We got Rome says exclusivity is bad. Thank you, Hiroki Satya. Blasphemy. Rome is speaking nothing but blasphemy. Glenzer.
Yeah, we don't praise Totoki over here.
No, there'll be no Totoki love in here. Sega. So Glenzer said Sega have 4 gens and quit. MS have 4 gens. ... Brian East. Parris is channeling my favorite team loss, so this sport is stupid energy. Oh boy. Rome. I'm gonna get a cat and name it Hiroki Nadella.
Okay.
Oh, whoa.
Bad.
What's this happening again?
Oh, yeah, it's happening again. I just want to say, I didn't recommend you that microphone. I recommended you a better one, so you should have taken my recommendation because I'm your only friend in this YouTube seats. No, I can't hear you now. I don't know you.
No, it's not. It's not the microphone.
Oh, now you're back.
It's no. Yeah, so I don't know what it is. I think maybe it's the Voicecaster because I just turn it off and turn it on and then it goes away. So I don't know if it's. Yeah, I'm hoping I don't got a defective Voicecaster. That's what I'm hoping.
Well, clearly you do.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's
why? Because then I gotta buy another one.
You can return this one.
Okay.
And get another one.
Okay.
That's how warranties work, right?
No, I just want it to work though. Don't hope that it's broken. Hope that it works. Objective from Krypton. Oh shit. Motherfucker came from another planet. He's trying to take over. He goes, "What's good, panel? Oh, what's up? What's up, Objective?" And then we got Veja with a super chat. Xbox are just mad that PlayStation has marketing deal on Battlefield 6, while Activision COD gets tons of backlash after ABK deal for $68 billion. You know what? I'm gonna use that as a segue.
Wait, PlayStation has a market on BF6?
Yeah, I guess. Does it matter though?
It really don't. I mean, let's. It don't. Listen, at this point. Puerto Rock, at this point,
like
the fuck? Dude, why waste the money? 99% of gamers are gonna buy it on fucking PlayStation anyway.
The fuck
If
you
that
pay
shit
for
ain't in
marketing
Game
deal?
Pass, don't nobody. Yeah, come on, like
What the
come
fuck was like? So this is like the next thing. So we could tie the two together. But my next topic is
Yeah.
PlayStation 6 in 2027, right? You're already seeing Moore's law. He's talking about potential hardware of the specs of the PlayStation 6 and the handheld. Handheld's a separate thing, right? But for the PlayStation 6, released in 2027. My question is why?
I don't think so.
Like,
I don't think it'll be.
Is there a why? What's the
2027,
why?
man.
Well, what's the why behind it in 2027? If it's a 2027 product, why?
I don't know.
I will say this.
I think it's too early still.
Normally, I would say this is complete bullshit. Don't even pay attention to it. But fuck the turkey, and he's in there now. Who knows? Who knows? You know? Who knows what kind of dumb moves they're
But
gonna
like,
make?
and I know people are excited for hardware, right? Obviously, right? The hardcore's are excited for
Damn,
hardware.
we just got the Pro.
We
What
just
the
got
fuck?
it.
No,
Like,
but that's
Jesus
what I'm
Christ.
saying. You're gonna release the PS6 just so you could complain about is being held back by the PS5 and maybe still held back by the PS4.
You just
That
got
motherfucker
you
still
just
be
got-
popping.
That'd be
You
funny.
just got-
Still
you just
about
got
Madden
rid of-
2027
That's so crazy.
on the PS4.
PS5,
Call of Duty
PS6.
Right.
2027 on the PS4.
Yeah, they just got to the point. They just got to the point where the majority of PS4 owners have moved over. Like you just got to that point.
And by majority, they're talking like 51%. They're talking like 51%. You still got 49% still on the thing. Like,
listen, let's face it. This is gonna be in November. It'll make it 5 years, right? I'm thinking now that obviously the way I'm thinking is they're gonna extend this generation longer, only because of COVID, right? That if it wasn't because of COVID, I think things would have been a little bit better. But because of COVID and everything else, that delayed a lot of shit. And then now we got to deal with the tariffs and all of that shit, the price increase. It's just not, it would be a fucking horrible time to do that. There's nobody right now. We just got the Pro, right? We're just getting to the point where these fucking like Battlefield, I'm glad Battlefield 6 is going to be like 120 on that shit and it looks amazing. Like, let people breathe. It's like, we're at that point where your first party games, we've been waiting for 4 years now for these 4 or 5 years for these first party games. Now it's time for them shits to come out. Now we're gonna start seeing them come out next year, right? We got Sorrows and shit like that. Like let them shits come out before you start trying to introduce new hardware. You know, the games that you promised us or already showed us trailers for, let them shits come out before you. If I can't play Intergalactic or Intergalactic into the PS6, I'm gonna be pissed because you showed me this generation. You showed me that it says
Oh.
running on PS5 at the bottom of the screen, right?
Oh, what would you
I
do?
wanna
David
see
launch?
it on
Why did
PS-
you do? Why would you do Intergalactic as a PS6 day one launch title?
Hey,
I mean, it's still on the PlayStation 5 and the Pro
That's true, but I'm gonna be upset. I'm gonna tell you why.
because you never gave that Pro the
showed
shine.
me.
You ain't gave me no shine.
Well, not only that, Porter Rock, but you like for the games that they haven't shown me, like what we don't know what Corey Barlog is working on. Like, I get those. Those can be on PS6 because they haven't shown us anything, right? They haven't told us shit. But if you already showed me a trailer for something and that bitch said running on PS5 or PS5 Pro, that is this gen game. That should not be launching on another because or else you should have it's just it's a promise. You promised me something and it didn't happen, right? I can't try and complain about some shit that I didn't know exists or you never promised me, right? Like we know about all the fucking supposed canceled games that they had, but they never promised those. We didn't know it exist. It only came out through some back channels or Jason Schreier or whatever, some shit. I never cried and whined because they never promised me some shit I didn't know they was working on. But the shit that you promised me, if Sorrows drop on PS6, if Intergalactic and some other shit drop, I'm pissed. I'm pissed now. And I'm gonna be honest. As much as I love the hardware, I bought the VR, I bought the Portal and shit like that. I think they did a great job with serving its purpose for the PS5. They made all that shit around the PS5. Don't come out now and talk about PS6. I'm just not ready, bro. I'm just not ready. My Pro is still sitting here, fucking ready and hyped and ready to fuck up some brand new games. I'm like, I hate when I see tweets about PS6. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about next generation at this point. I'm in this generation.
Yeah.
You can't get me to what you gonna do? Tell me it's gonna have better ray tracing. Yes, it's gonna have better frame. Yes, I know, but what's gonna be the selling point besides that?
Mm.
Like you got to do something. It has to be more. It has to be more than just or else it's gonna feel like that whole PC stick where it's like, all right, what you gonna do? You're gonna upgrade your GPU and play the same fucking games just with higher frames and higher resolution. Like, and most
Yeah.
people play at fucking 1080p anyway, right on PC. Oh, 1440p, so they don't give a fuck about 4K. So it's going to be like they're going to have to sell this PS6, and I'm just not sure they're ready for that discussion just yet. Especially when you know you still got a shitload of people on PS4. Like, man, listen, ride this bitch till the wheels fall off. I get Nintendo right now, right? Where like they just rolled the fucking Switch 1 till the fucking wheels fall off. I was like crying playing that shit. Like I just got to a point I said I wouldn't buy another fucking single game. I wasn't buying another single game for the Switch until they came out with the Switch 2. And they came out with the Switch 2, and then I said, okay, now okay, that's good. But man, you still got the PS5 still fucking kicking ass, running games at 60 frames and shit like that. You got the Pro that's gonna, we got GTA 6. You're like, come on, man. Like, yeah, I'm not ready yet. It's just me. That's a personal preference. I'm just not ready yet. I think it's I wouldn't feel really obligated to go out just like everybody else. I think a lot of people still really gonna sit on the sideline then. They're really gonna skip the PS5 generation then. If Puerto Rock, if you think that let's say you didn't have a pro, you got a pro though, right, Puerto Rock?
Yeah.
Okay, you got a pro. But if you didn't
Absolutely.
have a pro,
As I
if you didn't
should.
have a pro
As I
and you had
should.
a regular, I know. If you just had a base PS5 and you've been on the fence about getting that pro, if all this conversation you're hearing, all these articles you're hearing in PS6,
I think I will wait. I will wait.
a lot of people are probably gonna
I
fucking
will be
just sit on the
skeptical.
sideline and wait.
I will be
Yeah.
skeptical in getting a pro.
If I got a PS4 and all this talk is about PS6, I'd be
I
like,
would.
damn, I might as well.
I'll
I
skip
might
the
as well
5. I
wait
might as
till
well
that.
just get the 6.
Exactly. You
That
shooting
directly
yourself in the
applies to
foot,
me
man.
Waited
Yeah,
this
you
long.
shooting yourself in the foot. Yeah,
because I don't have a
yeah,
pro. I have a base PS5 that I'm happy with because it plays games in 60
yeah,
frames. And I
Your
yeah.
knew
PS5,
I had a
Exactly.
feeling.
your
I had a
PS5
feeling it
Pros,
was
your PS5 Pros the PC.
no. That's a PS6 Pro
Oh shit.
at least. At least.
Yeah.
Dude,
Oh
Jada, like I'm in the same corner with you, Jada. But what annoys me is, I kid you not, I remember this. Roughly within the first 4 weeks that the
Mhm,
PS4, the PS5 launched, they were
mhm.
folks were already like rumors of PS6, blah blah blah, and I'm like, will you motherfuckers shut up?
Yeah, yeah,
Like it had just launched. I remember it hadn't even like it had just launched, and within the first month, folks was talking about PS6, and I'm like, folks can never be happy,
yeah,
like. We just got this, and you already talking about. I wonder what the PS6 is going to do. It's like people can't,
yeah,
they're their own worst enemy. Like you can't just sit back and enjoy it. Like just like what you just said. We're barely getting games that aren't running on the PS4 as it is.
yeah.
PlayStation, in my personal theory is they're in recovery mode from this stupid live service all in thing that because like look at the games. And it's funny. I was talking with a friend, and we were like, "Man, as much as the PlayStation camp likes to go at the whole Xbox got no games, they should probably be a little quiet right now because PlayStation got games, but it's a little thin. Sony they got I don't know what they're doing, but hopefully this back
Well,
end they bounce back a little stronger.
we know what they're doing. Puerto Rock told us like 3, 4, 5 goddamn podcasts ago when he brought the data out. The data showing these motherfuckers are eating off of that 30%. They're eating off of other people in their microtransactions and shit. They don't feel obligated to have to rush some shit. They're making all that money off of fucking Apex Legends, Fortnite,
Mhm.
all of that shit. That's like, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it kind of is a bad thing because
Complacency, because it leads
there's
to
not.
complacency.
Yeah, but listen,
Yes.
they're getting 30% by doing nothing, so they're complacent. And to be fair, they don't have any competition, so they really don't feel obligated to rush. Some they're telling their studios, well, you got time, make that shit, fucking make, do what you got to do. Whereas other studios are panicking, trying to rush and push some shit out. That's one thing. Maybe it's a good thing this generation, but we haven't had many PlayStation games that were rushed, that felt rushed out, where they like
Yeah, well,
weren't
yeah,
polished.
they maintain their
Their
standard of
quality, yeah,
quality.
their
And I mean,
quality, yeah, yeah.
even though what's the name, Concord was obviously an epic
Even
failure,
even but
but
even
the
even that
technical
never
quality was
had
still
any. Yeah,
there.
it
The
still was
quality was
high
technical
production
quality.
quality. The
Exactly.
graphics was there. The gameplay was there. It wasn't a broken game, and it didn't feel rushed. It's just
Yeah.
nobody cared about that type of game that
They
Sony put
messed up
out.
with the
So
characters. They more or
yeah,
less messed up with the characters
yeah,
on
so
that.
that's a
Yeah.
management issue, but the quality, as
Yeah.
far as
Quality's
like,
still there. Technical quality.
nobody, not a single person complained this is broken, or or this, they should have took some time and did X, Y, and Z. It was a game that gamers didn't really care about. That's what it was. So I think versus last generation, we did have some games that needed, they needed some patches afterwards and stuff like that. We have yet to get a game like that from a Sony first party studio. I think at least they've nailed that down with like the Nintendo quality seal of proof, where it's like,
Well, every
what
release has
first
needed some
party
kind of
game came
patch,
out.
but it's mostly been minor. Every game
Yeah,
has had some,
support.
but
Yeah,
that's every game in
it's a lot
general, though.
quality. Yeah, quality. They're still putting out fucking like Days Gone quality patches and stuff where
Yeah.
they add different stuff. I mean, those are, I call support stuff, but the game wasn't broken. Like the original Days Gone when it launched on PS4, that shit was broken. I had to start the game over like
Mhm.
3 times with the fucking bug that wouldn't allow
Yeah.
me to pick up something to
That was
trigger. So
ridiculous.
that's
That
what
was
I'm saying. Yeah,
ridiculous.
that's
Yeah,
what
that
I'm
was
saying.
bad.
And that's why it got the Metacritic score that it got, because they put it in the hand of reviewers before it was
It was
patched
ready.
up and ready to go. And that's why I
Well, it
say
had the
don't put your,
PS4 coughing up blood to begin with.
well, that too. That too.
The PS4 wasn't ready for wasn't really capable
It
for
needed
that
that
game.
pro. Yeah, it needed that pro.
Man, I got to say, with this whole like the whole excuse me, discussions going on right now, especially with that job opening thing, like I'm still hanging back saying I don't know the full story and I'm waiting until they commit the cardinal sin. But aside from that, honestly, I'm bored with it. I'm so bored with it. I have after that this last round of news, with PlayStation and
Mhm.
everything, I've kind of receded back and I'm just playing my games and I'm just having a good time. If
That's what
if
I do.
PlayStation if PlayStation makes all the right moves and they make this big epic comeback, awesome. I will be right there day one. If they if they continue doing well while tanking the brand, then
Yep.
whatever, I will buy the games if the games are good. But I'm so numb to it now. The whole roller coaster thing, the silent treatment, and then you get the live service crap, and then they sprinkle in some of the single player games. Like I've just receded all the way back to when's the game coming out? All right, I'll see you there. If I like it, if I don't like it, I'm not gonna buy it. And that's
Mm.
just where I'm at now. Like none of this stuff even affects me anymore. I'm not even upset about any of it. I'm just like, whatever. I'm just gonna play the
Yeah.
games and have fun. This is my hobby.
Well,
Like
apparently their job posting, they already took it down because they promoted somebody within the company for it, and that has been a position that has been there for like many years.
that's kind of what
But
I suspected, but I haven't been saying anything because I don't know.
yeah,
That was that, that was
it's wrong timing because everybody's mad about the live service
the
shit.
Hell Divers. The timing was really bad with the Hell
Well,
Divers
well,
stuff.
I don't even think it was more so of Helldiver. I just think everybody was mad over the live service, and then on top of that, you throw Helldivers out there, and then now somebody notices a job posting, and So now it was just a combination of all of this shit. But I'm like you. Listen, Sony can do what the fuck they want. If they want to lose me as a customer eventually, that's on them, right? That's really on them. But I'm not going to, it's just my opinion personally. I'm not gonna manage internal company. Like I love their games. I love the brand. I love the hardware because they provide a bunch of fun and shit like that. But that's up to them to keep me as a customer. If they do some shit and make me feel like this shit is invaluable, worth my time, then I'm going elsewhere. That's just what that is. I've bought every fucking Xbox that ever existed, and them motherfuckers lost me as a customer, right? They didn't do right by me personally, by me, right? Because gaming is a selfish hobby, but it's about me. So I got to the point where it's like, fuck Xbox. Well, I'm not going to buy another Xbox game. There's no sense in me wasting my money there, and I haven't. But I mean, what I didn't know is they was going to eventually get money from me by putting their fucking games on my PlayStation, right? I think that's a Yahtzee moment from Microsoft, and that kind of is a smart strategy. It's like, yeah, we lost you as a fucking Xbox customer, but we gained you as a PlayStation customer, right? And that's the catch-22, which I don't care. It's just at least I don't have to deal with their hardware anymore. And they probably glad because they don't have to deal with their hardware anymore. They just fucking license that shit out to somebody else and let somebody else take the risk and the responsibility for that. But maybe, and this is my fear, and now tell me if I'm fear mongering or tell me, if I'm not. The fear that's deep in the back of my head is the fact that Sony knows that Microsoft is no longer in the hardware space. They're no longer competition. Now they don't feel obligated to kind of hide things anymore, keep things away from Xbox. We're like, fuck it. Those 20 million people that they got over there, we'll throw them some cheeses over there and try to get them. I'm afraid they'll do some bullshit like that. Like Helldivers. It could be one of those plays. It could be, right? Or it could be, hey, this studio asked us to put the in. We don't give a fuck. We got our money. We're getting the bag. It doesn't matter. Like, I don't know. But I understand the console war is over, and that competing Xbox versus PlayStation, that shit is dead. That shit is no more. We got to get somebody else to come in and take Xbox's place for that PlayStation versus whoever. Nintendo's not going to do it. They don't want to play in the big boy arena, right? So at this point in time, there's only one house and there's only one sheriff in town. And maybe that sheriff is like, I have no competition. What do I have to lose? Like, where are you going to go? Puerto Rock, where you going to go? I mean, listen, you ain't gonna go to PC. You don't want to spend a bunch of money and have fucking janky games, right? At launch, your game's gonna be janky. You can't play GTA. You can't play Intergalactic. You can't play Ghost of
Oh
Your Top.
my god! Here we go with the
Maybe no. To be fair, and it's cute. PC always have these fucking fucked up, stuttering, and janky ports, or you gotta wait. Right?
I'm gonna say
and
this,
it's
man.
expensive. So
I'm gonna just say, ultimately,
case by case. It is more frequent than console, but that's case by case.
Thank you.
I've had plenty. I've had
I'll
plenty
say
of really
this.
good.
Look how. I mean, look at the time span. August of 2020, it was Horizon Zero Dawn, and they said that don't take this as every game's going to PC. It's just a good fit, and blah 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 blah. That was August 2020, and now here we are, 5 years into the gen. Right? Let me put it this way. When the PS5 came out in November 2020, it was just Horizon Zero Dawn on PC. That is it.
Yeah.
Here we are in the middle of the gen for PS5, and now we got multiple games going on PC. I was guaranteed to go on PC. Guaranteed. 10-point exclusives are guaranteed to go on PC for the most part. Some for single player games are day one, like Lost Soul Aside, depending on the reason, like if it's Chinese or something. But there's room for day and date single games. Live service is all day and date on PC. And they even open now. Now, apparently I didn't get the word, but live service on Xbox was always a thing. So now you even got that. You know what I'm saying? So now PlayStation, right? Like right now, PlayStation, right? The differentiator is literally whittling down to just a few time exclusive games. And it's not even a lot. I mean, look at this gen. This gen is just really 2 games. It's Death Stranding and goes to Yotai. That's the fine line between staying on PlayStation and moving on to another platform. Meanwhile, PlayStation's putting like even something like, let's say like Tokon Fighting Souls. That's not even time exclusive. So of course people are saying, oh, but it's live service. I'm like, and it's a fighter, Evo. I'm like, all right, get it. But put it this way. It's another PlayStation first party title.
Wait,
You
are you
don't
talking
need
about
a subscription. Yeah, I'm talking about PC.
Oh, okay,
I'm talking about
okay,
PC.
okay.
Yeah. Let me put it this way. The way I see it, if you can play a game on another platform, that's a competing platform. I get it. Sony's data with profit. That's just Sony's company perspective of how they see platforms. I'm talking about from the consumer perspective, right? If you have options,
that's kind of true, but sorry to cut you off, but that's PC it really is kind of different. PC gamers really are, and like
I'm not talking about the gamers. No, I'm not talking about the gamers. I'm talking about the product.
Well, I get that, but
that's it. The options.
I get that,
Product.
but the platform services a different type of gamer, though. That's what I'm saying. Is although you can consider it a competing platform.
I get what you're saying, but look at what I'm trying to say. Look in 2020, you didn't have a live service strategy on PC that was day and day from PlayStation. You didn't have multiple games.
Well, to be fair,
they
didn't have a live service strategy in 2020. But
I know it's not that. No, but that's my point. When people bought a PS5 when it launched, it was just one game, Horizon. When the PlayStation 6 launches, it's games that we know are day and date on PC. It's games that we know that's going to PC, and it's even some single player games that's day and date on PC. PlayStation, there is no PlayStation console that ever launched like that. Every PlayStation console that launched with exclusives to its own thing. PlayStation 6 is not launching like that. So now it's a whole new dynamic. It's a whole new view on what products. Because now when you look at the PlayStation 6 generation when it launches, you can actually look at PC and be like, man, look at all these games PC got. Gets day and day multiplayer game. And some single player games are coming day and day, and others is like a year wait or maybe 2 year wait. So now you have to ask yourself, is really 2 games that I have to wait for really a reason for me to get a PlayStation?
Okay,
if you look at Vegeta 2,
let me bounce off of that though.
The choice is to get a PC and then wait. That's the choice.
But look at this, Jen. I used this year as an example. It's only 2 games you're waiting for this year. It's only 2. Yotai and Death Stranding. But look at the things you avoid. You avoid having to pay money for every single player live service game that PlayStation releases. You don't have to pay a fee no more. You have more options for stores. You don't have to rely on the PlayStation Store only.
Yes,
you have multiple stores now.
Really, you're right.
There's two. Hold on. There's 2 definitive things PlayStation now has. 2 definitive things. 2 FOMO or 3 FOMO. If you're really that aggressive and wanting to play games day one, all right, those 2 games you have to play. FOMO, which is not a lot, really. That's number 1. Number 2, cost. Maybe you don't want to spend $1,500, $1,800 on PC. And then number 3, and Sony could screw this up, but at least for now, physical games on disc. To me, is bigger than the other 2. To me, that's the other 2. What's the 4th? What's the 4th one?
The 4th is ease of use. I'm telling you, my setup, and I'm going to tell you from my perspective, my setup, I have had almost 0 issues. I have you already know this. I have mine set up at my TV, surround sound, everything is set up at my TV, not at a desk. I tell people this. I show people this. I'm like, occasionally, yes, I'll have some jank with a game or with, something, or, like the driver issue with NVIDIA and I rolled my drivers back. But my setup is virtually console-like, and I very rarely have issues, and people still say, "Nah, I don't want to deal with that, man." And I'm like,
most people don't care.
I'm like, look, I'm not trying to sell you, but I'm just trying to tell you the truth. It's not as complicated as it used to be. And they're like, dude, I just want to plug it in and I want to play. I don't want to deal with all that, and I got to pay more money. They're like, I'll take the downgrade in performance and blah 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 because that's enough for me. I still think the majority of gamers are like that. PC is growing, but most people they don't want to deal with it, even though it's as easy as it is. And I think
PC
that's
was
the
never
big thing.
but again, you're talking about people. I'm not talking about people. I'm talking about the product. I'm comparing products, not people. If people are too stupid, if people are making excuses, because if that's the case, then why do we make fun of the Xbox fans? How come over the last 4 years we didn't leave Xbox gamers alone and just left them alone with, yes, I know it's on PC, yes, I know this, but I like playing on Xbox. We didn't leave them alone. We still make fun of them. We still talk shit. How come we didn't leave them alone then? Does that not apply to an Xbox fan? Like, listen, I like playing on Xbox. Leave me alone. We didn't. We didn't leave them alone. We made fun of them. We talk shit.
As we should. Yeah, they lost.
So then let's keep the same energy. If PlayStation gamers stay, despite Sony's doing all this stuff.
We don't have to keep the same energy.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But there's nothing to win. What did we win? They end up putting Helldivers on Xbox anyway. So what did we win? What did we win? We won. In reality, but J-Dub, what is the prize? What's the prize? What's the prize?
Listen, the prize
is
we have the best. We have the best hardware on the market, and we 4-0. We 4-0. We undefeated in the console war. Everything else don't matter.
I ride with
you know what I'm saying? None of that. We're undefeated, and Sony. Listen, we're undefeated. Listen, we're undefeated. But here's this: we're undefeated, but PlayStation strategizing. Listen. We're undefeated, but PlayStation strategizing around everyone else. When was the last time they genuinely did something exclusively for us? Exclusively for us.
PlayStation gamers haven't benefited with any of these last moves.
Exactly. We got nothing out of this. Bro, J-Dub, you're praising dating a girl that says, I'll be loyal for you for a year, but after a year, I'm sucking another dude's penis. That's what you're praising.
That's what it is. That's not
what it is. That's not what it is. That's
actually they lied to us a couple times.
In the end, it's just turned. In the end, am I wrong?
You're looking at it the wrong way. You're wrong.
I'm not looking at it the wrong way.
Let me tell you why you're looking at it the wrong way. Right?
I'm not looking at it the wrong way.
I explained.
Xbox.
I kind of explained it a little bit earlier. Like. This we call this the console war. We don't call this the PC and everybody else war. This is the console, right? Console is not a fucking PC. No matter how much fucking Xbox is going to try to spin that shit so people can go out and buy a PC with an Xbox logo on it and still, and still be happy. But what happened is you started this generation. Gaming changed within this generation, meaning the competition dropped out. This generation, call it over. We'll start next generation with the PS6. There won't be nothing else, right? Nothing else matters. There'll just be a fucking PS6. And it is what it is. But there's no more console war. There's no more, hey, mine is better than yours. The other ones just dropped out. Nintendo dropped out, right? PlayStation ran them out of the fucking console space. They don't no longer make a traditional console. Xbox, the same thing. They no longer going to make a fucking traditional console. Like it's so really what it boils down to is this is Porter Rock. Porter Rock want this, and this. PlayStation, if they no longer say, hey, gaming has changed. That's how it was 2 generations ago. Last generation, but now things is over. Things over. There's no competition. There's only one console on the market now. So now we're gonna try to fucking get money XYZ. We're gonna try to do live service shit. We're gonna do this. That may mean that each year you get 1 or 2 exclusives that don't go to PC or whatever. That's just how it is. That I don't. And think
how's
that's
that winning
change.
then? How's that winning?
You don't need to win anymore. It's over.
Listen. When you win, you get something out of it. What are we getting from winning?
You got a great Porter Rock. You got a great piece of console, right? You got a great piece of tech.
That has nothing to do. That has nothing to do with Xbox.
That's just what it is.
That has nothing to do with Xbox. We're gonna get that anyway.
I'm talking about PlayStation.
Hell, yeah, it's like some people felt PlayStation 3's better and the hardware was shit.
Yo, I
You
got
see
to
what I'm saying? Listen, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, listen, none of the moves is PlayStation centric moves. We just gotta admit it. And if you're not making PlayStation centric move, that's not winning. PlayStation centric moves is winning. They're not making PlayStation centric move. It's always including somebody else. It's always, and we move the goalposts too, because now out of the blue, listen, I guarantee if I listen to every podcast and look at every chat over the last 2 years, not one motherfucker said Microsoft was going to put Helldivers on Xbox. That or the live service strategy included Xbox. I guarantee, I know I'm not bugging. Extreme, since you've been on this podcast, have you heard any conversations of live service and Xbox is included? I don't remember that combo.
Bullshit.
I don't remember that guy there. J-Dub, you said that on Z's channel? No. Nobody said, but everybody's looking at me, oh yeah, it's been that way. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
No, I didn't say that.
I've been in this bullshit. I've been doing this bullshit for a minute. No one said live service game included Xbox. Now it's always been that way. Like Porter Rock, oh my God, where you've been? I'm like, I'll be like, yo, I don't understand. And here's the thing. How does that make PlayStation better for the PlayStation gamer? It doesn't. We don't get none of this shit. Nothing applies to us. Nothing. The best we got is we get to say, and I said this about Xbox, and I made fun of them for this because they were doing this for a little while. To them, the definition of exclusive is not on PlayStation. You could put that shit on the Switch. You could put it on the iPhone. You could put it on PC. You could put it on cloud on Amazon Fire Stick. But as long as it's not on PlayStation, it's considered exclusive. And I'm like, these guys are retarded. There's a stupid reason. And guess who's doing it now? Our guys are doing it now. As long as it's not on Xbox, it's an exclusive. What the fuck is we talking about here? All these moves are not for the only one who's doing moves for their fan base. They make decisions for their fan base is Nintendo. They're not going to do voice acting because they don't give a shit about you, me, or any other. They don't care about us five. Nintendo's like, fuck y'all. You don't buy our Switch, so why we got to listen to you? We're going to listen to the people who bought the Switch. They buy our games. That's what we're catering to. And they don't care about voice acting, mocaps, all this advanced shit. They just want good, fun gameplay, even if it's 30 frames. Just make it good. Just make it fun. Just make it enjoyable. And that's it. That's all they want. And don't pay $80 for it. And Nintendo's with that. They're not going to listen to us that demand, real life realisms and Academy Award winning, voice acting. They don't want to. They be like, get your ass out of here. Don't buy our shit.
And they don't put their games anywhere else, and they stand on business with that.
They don't even say, if you even listen, they will sue your mom if you call the wrong platform Nintendo. They're like, wait a minute. You calling that PS5 Nintendo? Yeah, that's a Nintendo. Nah, we're suing your ass. You going to court. Don't you ever do that shit again. That's a company that caters to the fan base. So PlayStation is just, and I get it there. And I'm not saying I'm not trying to tell the audience that I don't understand. Yes, I know it's business, but that doesn't mean there's a benefit to me or I'm getting out of it. All their decisions is whatever. And look how far gone. It's just 5 years. How is PlayStation is going to look by the time the PS6, if PS6 comes out 2028, 2029, how does the landscape look then for PlayStation? Extreme mentioned a couple of things. Right now, Helldivers let me put it this way. Helldivers will be Helldivers 2 on PlayStation is the most expensive way to play that game on the PlayStation. Because on Xbox, they have a $60 tier a year. PC is free. PlayStation minimum tier is $80. How crazy is that? Playing it on the platform is the most expensive way to play Helldivers.
Wait, what did you say? Just repeat yourself. What did you just say?
The most expensive way to play Helldivers 2 is on your own platform. It's cheaper everywhere else. It's cheaper on Xbox because they have a $60 basic tier where you don't really get much benefits of Game Pass, but if you just care about online, it's core. $60 a year.
Oh, okay, core. Yeah.
Yeah, core.
Okay. That reminds me of NBA The Show where that went straight into Game Pass. That was even
even that, and I get it. But even that was a slap in the face.
That still looked bad. I don't care what the circumstances were.
Exactly. Now it's not like that. No, but for 4 or 5 years, they won. While the PlayStation gamers, once again, the most expensive way to play PlayStation games is on PlayStation.
Yeah.
It's the most expensive way. It's not the cheapest way. It's not the most cost-effective way. It's the most expensive game. You playing Tokon, sure. It's not on Xbox. It's exclusive on Xbox. But the PC gamers are playing it, and they're not playing online. They're not paying for online to play it. Once again, PlayStation gamer, the most expensive way to play games is on PlayStation. You want to spend the most money playing PlayStation games? Play it on PlayStation. That's what we get.
I will say this about paying. Hold on, I will say this about paying online. As someone who was thoroughly in that era when we didn't pay shit for online, I am glad I'm paying for online.
PS3.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Dude, do you remember? That shit was free, but my
It was free.
God,
It was free on PS3.
I remember it. It was really bad.
It was free.
Every once in a while, I fire up my PS3 to play something.
But how we end up the most expensive? How we end up being the most expensive though?
Actually, with the cheapest annually. And I think the mid tier is still cheaper than Xbox. It's just the core.
Essential's $80.
Okay,
a year.
What's Game Pass annually? Game Pass annually.
The main one.
They don't have an annual tier. They don't have an annual.
Game Pass doesn't have an annual tier. Only core.
Oh, so it's $280 for a year for Game Pass.
Yeah, but that's only if you go for the Game Pass thing, which is not.
Yeah, but that's if you get Game Pass day and day.
I don't know. You know what I don't understand?
Okay.
The fact that PlayStation fans put so much work into defending this company, I don't understand it. Listen, it's a fact. If you are interested in Helldivers 2, if you're interested in Tokon, you pay for the console, and yet it costs you more than even just PC players. That is already abysmal. That's already that is why when Helldivers 2 came out, I was the first to be like, I'm not supporting this game. I'm not buying this game because PlayStation gamers, and I had PlayStation Plus for like 2 years already stacked up. It wasn't about the money. It was about the principle. If people had been like me, you wouldn't say Helldivers 2 on Xbox. Trust me. If they had been like, no, Sony, you can't just charge us for this thing on your own platform. Listen, there's a bakery in Melbourne, okay? That bakery makes croissants, some of the best croissants you'd ever find on this side of not France, okay? Right? And they sell it to other cafes and everything like that, okay? I can tell that a cafe is a good quality cafe if they have these croissants there, okay? Because these are just the best they have in Melbourne, okay? Are they good compared to the French versions? No, but they are the best ones in North France. So here we go, right? If you decide to actually go to the boutique, because they have their own boutique, right? Imagine how crazy it would be if you took your ass all the way to Preston Market, people, by the way, for you guys in Melbourne, all the way to Preston Market, to that bakery, and it costs you more to buy the croissant from them than it did the same product from a third-party store. You'd be like, wait, that makes no sense. How is it that person has to have their card? You have your card. They need their card. How would removing them cost me more money by coming directly to you? That's the dumbest business model ever. Could you imagine that, Polo? Like, you go over there and it's like the croissant that is worth $5 everywhere else is $7 there. You'd be like, wait, what? So I could have just been at my local cafe and had it for cheaper? That makes no sense. That would make no sense. Of course, it doesn't work that way. When you actually go to the people, it's like $2 cheaper.
Yeah, it's like $2.
That makes sense.
It's like
you go directly to them. And PlayStation is hoodwinking you guys. It's hoodwinking you. You are on PlayStation, and it costs you more to have PlayStation products there than it does to have elsewhere. Like, are you fucking insane? When this game first came out, that's what I said. I made a lot of Twitter posts, people didn't like me. And I'm like, no. I'm like, no, this doesn't
people
make
don't
sense.
like me. They like the company more than me. Like, what's happening?
I just don't understand. Like, PlayStation fans sometimes, I'm like, wait, are you fucking serious? You are on a PlayStation product, playing a PlayStation game, and it costs you more money than the person that didn't get a PlayStation. That's fucking insane. That is insane. There's no business anywhere else on the planet that would work that way. Could you? Like, what the fuck? Like, what are you talking about? Listen.
That's because the fan base tolerates it.
Oh man,
I'm telling you, that's exactly. And then when you argue with them,
think, like,
they
for
make
example,
excuses after excuse. No, Token Fighting Souls should not be included in PS Plus requirement. It shouldn't, because it's not included on PC. That's all you need to know. I'm not saying take PlayStation Plus away, because that's the other argument. Well, PlayStation Plus make things better. Yeah, sure, keep it. But for these titles, exclude it. It's your store. It's your policy. Why aren't you excluding? People are like, oh, if they had to do that, then they have to do it for everyone. Nigga, do you not understand what exception means? Exception doesn't mean you change the rule. It means you accept something.
It's exception to the rule.
Exactly. Let these titles from Sony's live service
even if they for something
they're
extra,
like, oh, then they have to take the rule away. Sure, they could do that. I don't give a fuck. But it's an exception.
He said, "Don't you know what exception means, bro? Fuck is we talking about?"
He added, like, even if they didn't make an exception, if they at least added a really nice incentive for PlayStation gamers, like, you know what I mean, like some extra, like, you know,
like season 1
or the like
season 1. Screw that. Season 1 DLC for a console based for, you know what I'm saying?
You know what they should do? Yeah, if they did every single season pass.
Shout out to Jay Barry. Sweeten the pot.
If they did every single, not just the first one, every single one. Because guess what? The first one only is relevant when it's only the first season. After that, season 2, I'm still paying more. No.
Oh, shit.
It's every single time. If they were like every season pass on PlayStation is going to be free to the PlayStation customer, oh, then we're good. We're Gucci. Right? Because then it's like, yeah, you're in the house. Yeah, it's part of your membership. It makes no sense. And the thing is, PlayStation fans, you have no principles. You have no principles. You always say, oh, I'm not personally affected.
Yeah, they take it for granted.
You know, you just, and the thing is, this is how you let the brand die. Because it's dying on your watch, you know.
We're already seeing it happen.
The same thing when people are like, "Oh, listen. You know, generations nowadays they are lazier than they used to be. The new generations aren't as hardworking." It's like, no, you let this shit get corrupted on your watch. That's what happened, right? Because this whole Reaganomics, you were there. You could have voted against it, but you didn't. You let it die on your watch. Now people inherit a broken system. And now you want them to be thankful because they were born. And it's like, no. You weren't paying attention. You didn't do your bit. This shit is worse now. Because what I tell people, like, hey, listen, the median price of a home 10 years ago in Australia was 300,000. 10 years later, it's 900,000. Projected 20 years, it'll be $2.9 million. That's the system you let happen. That's the corruption that you let happen. But you want those people to just work up to $2.9 million of earning. Like, no, that shouldn't be the median price of a home. In 30 years, you shouldn't be multiplying it by 30 times.
Hold on.
That's not the way.
Let me do some super chat real quick. Let me bust out some super chats real quick, right? We got Rome, Podrock. You guys won. PS putting games on Xbox PC. Oh, shit. Magnum Gaming. These are all out of Sony's control. Look at MLB, Lego, Arrowhead. A second party. No, Arrowhead is not included in that. A second party said their next game is multiplayer. Sony cave. No. Helldivers 2 is owned by PlayStation, and they use Nixes to help with the port. That is not Arrowhead. Even if, let's say, if it was Arrowhead, at best, Sony would say, okay, fine. Figure it out. But Sony's publishing the game themselves, and they use Nixes for the port. You can't tell me Arrowhead has that level of clout.
When it comes to taking away
they don't have that level of clout.
It's not Arrowhead that decides that this thing needs to be supported by PS Plus. Like, the fuck? Do you see the mental gymnastics people go to protect Sony? Like,
Sony's publishing the game themselves. That has nothing to do with Arrowhead. Arrowhead does not control PlayStation publishing. If it was an Arrowhead thing, Sony could have said, fine. You figure it out. You find your publisher, because we're not dealing with Xbox. That has nothing to do with us. But hey, good luck to that. And then they would have found a separate publisher, and they would have just worked on the port themselves. But Nixes, Sony's own first-party studio, worked on the port, and Sony published it. That means they put up all the funding in that. So that's not Sony caving. We just make excuses. That's a Sony decision, plain and simple.
I think
Joshua
the
3.
Oh, sorry.
Hold on, let me get two more. Joshua. So P-Rock, your channel didn't win from PS winning? Okay, release all your subs then. What does my channel got to do with PlayStation winning? My channel wins because I preach the truth.
How do you release them? Do you have them caged up?
No,
That's not a
like, I don't know.
1v1
Like, release your
analogy
subs.
that-
No, they're prisoners. I have them under my control. They are under my dominion. Like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? They come in here because I'm your only friend. These YouTube streets. You know, and then finally, King Thrash, PS Plus and all the pay-to-play online is trash. But let's not pretend you only get online play with PS Plus. Let's not pretend high-quality games don't cost. Let's not pretend anyone will leave PS for Xbox. Well, I'm not pretending. See, this is everybody's making it a people case. Listen, I don't give a fuck about the 6 billion people on the planet. I'm just talking about products and comparing the products. In 2020, 2 products was out, right? At a minimum, right? Or multiple products. But particular PC and PlayStation, PC only had Horizon Zero Dawn. That's it. And they said, Sony, don't take this as every game's going to win. You know, it's just a good fit. It's a 3-year-old game. And now, 5 years into the generation, they got a whole ass strategy on PC. Whole ass. They called it PlayStation PC at one point. I'm like, holy shit. You know, you go to Steam, they have an actual PlayStation section. That's a whole different world compared to 2020, and definitely a whole different world compared to PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1. They bought their most expensive purchase in publishing had nothing to do with the PlayStation gamer, which was Bungie. We didn't get a benefit to that. That $3.6 billion and not a single dime was for the PlayStation gamer. None. It was a strategy meant for multi-platform. You know, it was our our most expensive investment in PlayStation gaming is not even PlayStation. It's a multi-plat strategy. That company was bought to help them formulate a multi-plat strategy of delivering successful live service games. And now I learned it includes Xbox. So $3.6 billion to make Xbox games. You see what I'm saying? That's a whole different world than what we went through. It's a whole different world. This is a PlayStation that's, you know, now you could say, oh, they're not full third party. It doesn't matter. So they have a half-ass third-party strategy, but it's still a third-party strategy. It is still a strategy that considers other platforms. And I'm telling you, that's going to impact game development. And when I mean by impact game development, the futures of games is going to consider the platforms because they want to know. I guarantee they're collecting data on what PC gamers were like. They're not going to sit there and make a PlayStation-centric game, and then when they port it to PC, it only sells like 1 million, 1.5 million, 2. No, they're going to figure out how can we get PC gamers to 3 million, to 4 million. What is it that they like? What is it that we can modify? They're doing that.
Specific type. They only like specific type of games.
Then we're gonna have, instead of banana, they're gonna have apricot. I don't want to play apricot. I don't want apricot. What the fuck is an apricot? I don't want that shit.
I did want to say this. I did want to say this, for the Helldivers talk. That Game Pass Core is $9.99 a month, and PlayStation Essentials is $9.99 a month.
No, but you can buy Game Pass Core as a yearly thing.
You can buy it as a year. Okay, so for a year,
and it's $60.
Okay, yeah. So it's $10 more on PlayStation.
But the thing is, it doesn't even matter.
$20, $20 more.
PC is enough.
PlayStation's $80.
PC is enough. If I told you about that bakery and you said, "Oh, Emmanuel, I'm gonna drive all the way to Boston or in Melbourne in order to go to that bakery and order to have like the best prices for this thing, right? To have it fresh." And I no. There is one store, right, really close by, okay, and they have it for 50% off every day. Doesn't matter. Like, they have it even more further reduced. You'll be like, well, I'm just gonna go to that store. Why the fuck would I go all the way to this one space? It doesn't matter. Like, forget about Xbox and whatever their prices are. The fact is, on Steam, this game is cheaper to play and is therefore more expensive on the PlayStation platform. That is insanity. And again, like I'm saying, PlayStation fans are letting this disrespect happen on their watch. Pardon?
Is it the game is the same price on PlayStation and Steam? You mean
it's about what does it take to play the game? On PC, you just buy the box product.
Yeah.
On PS5, you have to buy the box product and the subscription.
PlayStation games are not the same price on PC.
No. I agree. But, we've been knowing this since the beginning of time. If
No,
you
it's
don't
not
want
about
to
we've been doing this. They didn't have
PC
a
is the best
multiplayer
place to
game that was a separate title, right? That costs more for a PlayStation. You realize at the end of a year, it's cost at least $120 for a PlayStation gamer to play Helldivers 2. On PC, it just costs $40 at the end of a year. That's 3 times more expensive on PlayStation than it is on PC.
It
Like,
didn't
it's not
even
even a
cost me
small
40.
margin.
It didn't even cost me 40. Like we got it. We got it on sale day one. Like Green Man and Fanatical had it.
Man,
And
he
CDT all
ain't trying
had
to
it
hear
on
that
sale day
bullshit.
one.
Come on, we're not trying to hear that shit. We're not trying to hear that right now.
I'm trying to reinforce the point that you guys are making that is messed up. I'm not bragging. No, really, I'm not bragging.
He like, we didn't even play 40. We got that shit for
Oh,
1999 the day long.
I'm not bragging
man.
though. I'm reinforcing y'all point
Crazy.
of what you guys are saying though. Like,
No, it's absolutely true. And that's the thing, Ramon. It's like when you're talking to PlayStation fans about this thing, they always want to like put it under the rug. They always want to like, oh no. It's like that's insane. It's insanity. It is literal insanity that is happening. That it costs you 3 times more to play on the console that you pay for from the company that makes the game than it does to play on a console that they didn't create or on another platform that is, again, nothing to do with them. That's insanity. That's insane.
But
that's also why I'm saying that just giving 1 season pass wouldn't be enough. Either you give the value continuously because I have to pay continuously, or you just exempt it. And again, what would they have lost from exempting it? All they would have gained is feature parity.
The underlying problem with that though is we know this, but we're the minority. Most console gamers don't know, but most console gamers don't know this, and so they don't complain about it because they don't know.
Ramon, do you want the most fucked up part is? Even Microsoft doesn't get this wrong. Because while Microsoft ports the games everywhere else, on their own platform, you have Game Pass. So even they do this better.
Yeah, when all else fails, you can be like, oh, nah, fuck this. I'm getting Game Pass.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, they can put it, they can put Helldivers 2, they can put freaking everything. Fable, Perfect Dark. Oh, sorry, Perfect Dark isn't coming anymore. Okay, whatever. They can put all of the games on PlayStation, but at least on their own platform, if you are on their home turf, you have the option of actually getting access to the game cheaper.
That is absolutely true. That is absolutely true.
Even they don't fuck this up. That's insane. Do you know how insane that is that even Microsoft gets this right? That's crazy. That's insane work. Like, listen, the person that had to stop the race at least didn't fuck this part up. And when you want to bring this up as a complete and colossal fuck up, I want to tell you it's a big deal as it is. It is a big deal. And like I was saying before, this is PlayStation fans watching the brand disrespect them on their watch. You are here, you are an active part of the ecosystem and the fan base, and you refuse to stand up and be like, no, that's not okay. And then when they keep disrespecting you by doing more and more things like P-Walk said, Bungie was completely worth it to save Naughty Dog. But aside from that, they've done nothing. Nothing for the PlayStation customer. If anything, they've made PlayStation worse. That's the only thing they've contributed. There is nothing that they have contributed. And not only that, they have already pledged in the future to contribute nothing. Like, that's how they came in. They were like, hey, fuck y'all. We'll do nothing for you. We do what we want, okay? And also, this will be the way that will be for the entirety of us being owned. There wasn't a 10-year deal where they say, oh, for the next 10 years, all of our games are going to be released multi-platform. But after that, don't worry, we'll finally, decide to be exclusive. No, they were like, we for the streets. Each and every day. Doesn't matter. We're getting out of those streets and we are not faithful. We're not here. We're not yours. We're just using you for your money.
Hey yo, I gotta jump off. I just wanted to jump on and play with y'all for a minute, but just parting words.
Pause.
Oh, man.
Okay.
I just wanted to jump on.
He said I got a gallon Diddy oil. What are we doing here?
I wanted to hang out for a while. I wanted to hang out.
Okay, there you go.
Chill
all right.
Let me clean it up.
My man
parting
said,
words.
He said, did he beat the charges?
Man, don't mention Diddle Daddy to me, man. I don't know.
Oh,
But parting words to everybody, chat, everybody. Enjoy your games, and when it comes down to it, you move according to what's best for you with how these companies move.
Facts.
PlayStation does not know your name. They don't know who you are. All they know is
my name.
how much money they want to extract from you.
I'm only about an hour away from Santa Monica. Keep fucking around. I'm gonna go up like Ice Cube.
You can live next door to them and they still won't know.
I'm gonna go in that lobby when I'm tearing up the lobby. Be like, yo, what the hell's happening? Someone call security.
Yeah, but they'll know your description for when they
yeah, you're gonna see me on Twitter. They're gonna be like, yo, I'm gonna be on the news. I'm gonna ask Donald Trump. I'm gonna ask the president. Hey, man, I need y'all to pardon me.
You're gonna be in Gitmo, man. You know better than that.
I need to get pardoned. You know what I'm saying? I tore up the lobby. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, y'all have a good night. Enjoy your games.
Play easy, brother.
Hey, you too, man.
Yeah, just move how you move, man. Y'all have a good night.
Mm-hmm.
You too,
I'm gonna tear up that lobby in PlayStation headquarters. You know, I'm gonna rat them out. I'll be like, hey, Mr. President, they make their stuff in China. Make America great again. Kick them out. We got what is it? John Baptiste. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna dime them out. I'm gonna dime out the whole bed. I'm gonna call ice on them. I mean, keep playing with me.
Time is Cuban.
That's it. They're all. John Baptiste says, if Epic can keep Alan Wake 2 away from Steam because they published the PC version, then PlayStation needs to keep their games away from these Futanari players. Oh shit.
No.
Yo, John Baptiste. And then you got King Thrash. Like I told y'all last time, console war is over. The US no longer matters. We are the new Japan. China's the new US. No competition US. China competition is PC. PC ain't a console. It's a tool. Man, hey, listen, whatever Sony's global strategy, that shit still sucks. From my perspective. This shit is trash. Maybe it's great for the shareholders. It's great for their perspective vision, which I completely understand from a business. But like I said, like literally 2025, the fine line between PlayStation PC, you know, in terms of games, is just 2 games that are timed exclusives. Like I said, trying to date a girl who's going to be faithful for a year. But you know she's going to get bukkake a year from now.
The thing
That's
is...
not a bragging point. That's not a bragging point.
Here's the thing. PlayStation
it's like dating an OnlyFans chick. Like who brags? Hold up. Who brags about dating an OnlyFans girl? That's not a bragging point.
Was that not?
That's not a bragging point. About.
You know, man, walking on the street. You know what that is? You take your girl out to dinner and everybody's staring at her.
Because everybody's seen it already.
They imagine you taking her out to girl dinner. He'd be like, excuse me, sir, I just want to say something. Hey, I jerk off to you. Yeah, we bragging?
Nah, I'm good on that.
We're good. Like, hey, take boxes to go. We taking this shit to go. Like, I'm done.
Yeah.
No. You know what? Here, I'm gonna leave money. I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
that is not a flex.
Yo, even extreme is shocked. That could happen.
Nah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, you're not dating a movie star where they come up, oh, can I have your signature? I love you in the movie The Notebook. Nah, people come up to her and be like, yo, I bust a nut watching you every night. That's who you got in front of you. That's who you got. That's who we got now. Like, Lord, yo, the chat's like, my God.
Oh, I loved you in I Didn't Have Money to Play for the Plumber. One of my favorite ones, man. That was one of my favorites. I love you in The Electrician Wanted to Wire Me Up. You know? I loved you in The Accountant I Owed Money to. You know?
Oh my
God. I loved you in How to Pay the Landlord Part 5.
That's it.
That was my favorite part.
I got stuck in the dryer. Yeah, okay.
Oh my God.
What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
What have you been watching? What have you been watching?
Yo, wow.
That's what we're doing here. Like, what is going on here? What's going on? Right, what were you going to say, Extreme?
No, I was going to say, listen, not only is PlayStation not prioritizing PlayStation fans, they're actually prioritizing PC fans. I think it's not just a matter of, you know, I'm telling you, they're actually putting priority. Listen, PlayStation is starting to communicate the same thing that Xbox started to communicate, which is The best way to experience PlayStation is to be on another platform. That's where the communication has started to go. That's basically it. If you are looking at Helldivers 2, like we've been saying, the best way to play this game is anywhere but the PlayStation. You know, that's the truth, you know? And even Marvel Token Fighting Souls is going to be the exact. It's going to come for a box price, and it's going to be on PC, and it's going to be best played anywhere but the PlayStation, you know? And that has become the communication. And PlayStation fans are sitting here pretending that they have their head in the sands and thing repeat itself. Again, like I've been saying this entire time, you don't have to move away from PlayStation, but at least look at it and just say your true feelings. I don't like this. Just say it. Look at it for what it is and ask yourself, do you like this direction? And if you don't like the direction, go on Twitter, tweet at them, fucking email them like some people did, and be like, I don't like this. This is how you make change. Because the thing is, we are the core audience. And listen, at the moment, the only thing that makes me not pledge PC is because I personally hate PC. That's basically it.
It's your own personal disdain for the platform. You're like, I even have a PC and I hate it. If it wasn't for photography,
and I don't like it.
If it wasn't for photography,
I take it away. I'm telling you, man. Listen, man. The day I retire will be the day that my PC gets packed up. Same day, just a boom. In fact, that's how I'll be announcing my retirement. Pack this shit all up, throw it out the door. You know, I'll put it there on the street corner for anybody that wants the miserable. Won't even charge for it, you know, because if you're gonna be miserable anyway, you shouldn't be charged for that. Okay, I'm a nice person. But the thing is this: aside from that, I see the signs, and I'm telling you, like you said, every single player game, PlayStation has no exclusive strategy, right? It has none. Everything is either timed exclusive or it's not at all, right? Basically, that's it. You just have either time or it's completely on day and date on PC. That's basically where we are. It doesn't matter
and
how
maybe,
you speed up the price.
Maybe Xbox, Nintendo, because now there's a new term, experimental.
There we go.
So
apparently, Xbox and Nintendo are now included. You know,
just depends.
The point is this: there is no PlayStation only strategy. Going back to this, what is it? To this rumor and everything like that, right? Because we're talking about the PlayStation 6. Look, people, listen. I don't care about rumors, especially not this early. Okay, I do not care. Do not listen to this. Look, Moore's Law is dead. I'm not going to take away anything from the guy, but his content is this content. If he wants to put money on the food that night, he's gonna take you. Hey, listen, take everything with a grain of salt. But here's something I'm going to drop for you so that it creates noise and he can make money at the end of the month. That is what his business is, and that's perfectly fine. It's like anybody that comments daily or weekly on the movement of any industry, he's just doing what his job is to do. You, as a PlayStation fan, you don't have to listen to that because it is far too early. But let's entertain it for what it is. Let's take it as face value. Let's say that it is true. This will just be another in the long line of dumb moves that PlayStation would make. Because guess what? Consoles are not meant to be replaced every few years. If you are a PlayStation fan, you got the PlayStation 5, right? Let's say in 2020. Then let's say you got the PlayStation 5 Pro. When did that launch? Was it 2024?
Last year.
Yeah,
it's not even a year old,
right? Exactly. And then you're supposed to get, so what, every 3 or 4 years, there'll be a new console generation. That is not sustainable for this market, right? When people are bitching, about, prices not having fallen down, and we all know these new consoles are not going to be, suddenly the ones that turn around and made the prices fall down. And Polo, didn't you make a tweet saying that the Nintendo Switch 1 went up in prices?
Yes, it went up in price officially. It's already done.
So okay, well that definitely means, that again, this will not be the thing to drive prices down.
I know you're like this. That would be like, who's your favorite camera maker?
Sony.
So that would be like Sony releases the latest model of camera in 2025, but they increase the price of the 2024.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
What?
Except it would be the one 7 years ago, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Model
that even is the 7 year.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on here, bro? Like, what are we doing here? Like it's
Can
just
I
weird,
just say
bro.
Sony did that? Sony did something like that very recently. We'll talk more stuff at the end because there's one that they just released, which is so incredibly dumb that I know Totoki was behind it. Okay, because if you see my tweets, lately I've been telling you he's also been winning Sony Alpha, which is the camera brand of Sony. Okay, listen.
So he's fucking up your camera brand too. So you really hate him.
Oh, definitely.
Thank God I don't really buy anything on Sony.
I fucking hate this guy. Listen, he's winning Sony Alpha. This is a real thing. I'm not just saying that. I can prove it. But we do that later, at the end, No, the truth is this, okay? We have a moment here where this will be the dumbest thing to do. First of all, the PlayStation 5, like we said, you can say anything you want about the direction that Sony has taken, but the hardware that's sitting on your, on your TV unit or wherever you have stashed this thing is great hardware. And people are not yet feeling that this hardware has even been pushed to its limits. And that's the base version, let alone the pro version. If these rumors are true, again, right, because we're talking rumor here, we're taking them at face value, they're supposed to come up with this whole magical PSSR, right, in 2026 in preparation for GTA 6. And then a year later, they would then release a PlayStation 6. If I was a PS5 Pro buyer, even if I bought it at launch, I would be like, fuck you. Like, wait, so you just got to like the promised land of like in 2026, you just got a console to where arguably it should have been released out in the first place. So you finally fully developed its potential. And now that's the time that you decide that a year later I should buy another console. Like, that's fucking insane. I've said this. If PlayStation 6 releases before 2029, Sony has fucked it up. 2028 is too soon. It has to be 2029 or 2030. That's basically it. Listen, I'm sorry. It's just it. Because, and we all know the PlayStation 5 is going to have, like I said, a grandfather long tell you. It will be the PlayStation 2.
So you might as well just enjoy it. You might as well just enjoy the PS5 those extra years.
And you may instead as well wait until there is a huge difference between the PlayStation 6 and the PlayStation 5. Not any of this is whether it's 3 times the performance on paper, but in reality it's like 1.1 times better. It's like 10% better. Sharper. No, you need to see a huge difference between the PlayStation 6 and not the base PS5, but the PS5 Pro. That is what it is. Because for me, it's always how do you do against the greatest. It is not how do you do against the last base version. No, the PlayStation 5 is way better than the PS4 Pro. It's not even close. Like, it's not. They don't even walk. Like, when they walk side by side, they don't hold hands. They don't know each other. They don't speak the same language. The PS4 Pro is a garbage product compared to the PS5. The PlayStation 6 needs to make the PS5 Pro look like a garbage product. It needs to make it obsolete. That's actually something that a CEO of Sony said. He said, you need to render your own products obsolete because if you don't make them obsolete, then somebody else is going to come and do it. So the PlayStation 6 needs to make the PlayStation 5 Pro at least appear to be obsolete by sheer value of how good it is. So no, I do not believe that you release the PlayStation 6 in 2027 and you suddenly render the PS5 Pro to make it look like a garbage product. And that's really what you have to do. So for me, I'm like, wait, I don't care if it's 2032, but wait until you have the technology and the advancement to be able to do that. When people will look back at the PlayStation 5 Pro and just like, what the was I thinking? You disgust me. That's the way that I looked at my PS4. When I looked at my PS4 Pro and I got the PS5, I was like, who the fuck are you? How did I have you in my house for so long? The day that I plugged in my PS5, I unplugged in my PS4 Pro and I looked at it and I said, I will never touch you again. And I haven't since. Okay? It's been wonderful. Those are my thoughts.
So, any other comments? Because I think we could wrap up the show with that one.
Okay, I'm going to send you a link. First, we're going to
have... cameras?
No, not on the cameras. First, we need to have an Australian cultural exchange. Because remember last week, you had to cut the show early. You guys need to know anything about the land down under, okay? Boom. The latest link there.
You better not have a spider.
Nah, it's not about spiders. I hate spiders. Spiders are creepy.
What is this? Magpies.
Spiders. Arachnophobia.
Let's see. Magpies.
Forget crocodiles.
All right. Okay. Let's
Listen,
see.
this is a cultural moment. Okay,
All
you're about
right,
to remember
all
this for the rest of your life.
Oh, here we go. Ready? You ready?
Talk about that last
Chat?
week. I did remember that.
We're about to get cultured.
Show us.
Forget crocodiles and cane toads. At the moment, it's swooping magpies you need to watch out for. It's spring, so the fierce protectors are out in full force, with southeast Queenslanders bearing the brunt.
It's that time of year to expect a feathered fright. Queenslanders under attack. Territorial magpies protecting their nests, taking action. Even drawing blood on this Brisbane runner.
I was attacked at once by 3 birds. They were actually relentless.
Warning signs now up across 62 suburbs because whether they're attacking or just a nuisance, there's been 250 reports in Brisbane this year, 169 of those since August, with the 5 hotspots Mount Gravatt East, Carindale, Maruka, Brighton and Holland Park West. But it's only going to get worse as their eggs hatch.
As far as the magpies are concerned, they see us as a predator taking their chick.
On the Gold Coast,
It's literally coming for me.
and the Sunshine Coast, there's been close to 100 reports in the last 2 months.
Those birds are next level, like next level. It's a reason not to move to Queensland, I swear to God.
Unless you're prepared to stare them down like Nine's own Mia Glover.
They usually won't attack from the front. It's usually only once you're not looking at them that they'll attack.
While only around 10% of magpies actually swoop, the chances are if you're targeted in one area, you'll likely be targeted there again, with the birds known to breed around the same area every season.
Something like an umbrella can be a useful thing as well, if you know where they're going to be territorial.
And if you do cross paths, just try not get in a flap. Kate Lamb, 9 News.
That's crazy. Magpies, I've never seen those.
And this is why we have the Second Amendment. Let a magpie fly at us. Boom!
They're protected.
We dropping them.
No,
we
they're
dropping.
protected. You can't
We'll
kill
come
them.
back.
You go to
Nah,
jail.
screw that. Nah, see, so you need
You go to
better.
jail.
See, so you need better votes. You need better leverage. You need better legislation. Defund the magpies. Take them out.
Can I just say this is way worse than a problem than that clip showed. People, especially if you're cycling, people have known to get into accidents because of them, like literally fall off the bike or run into car because of them. They are way worse. Oh, can I just say, please understand they're very intelligent birds and they are vicious and they all have personal preferences. Some of them will only attack dogs. You know how you say that they see us as predators? That's a lie. They don't see us as predators. Their nests are like 9 meters up in the sky, which is like 27 feet. We create no danger to their nests, okay? They just hate us, okay? Some of them only attack dogs. Some of them only attack particular people. As well
like
as
black
that,
people?
Magpies, pardon?
Like black people?
What? Oh no, it depends. Yeah. Some of them are racist.
They're racist.
Like, some
so
of
they're
them,
racist.
they
Racist
all
as
have
so we got
preferences.
racist magpies.
We do have racist
That's
magpies.
crazy.
Can I just say it goes crazier than this because magpies recognize faces and they communicate to each other. So if you live in an area and you walk by their often for most of the year, that magpie is most likely not going to attack you. Not only that, but it would tell other magpies that you are safe. And I know this because when I used to cycle a lot on a particular route, for the first 3 years, I was attacked by this one magpie, and it's always a territory. You can see it almost like a video. As soon as you cross this point, it will attack you. And it did that to me every single year. Then at the 4th year, it stopped. No matter how long I stayed in it, it was, I know you're good. And then when people will come by me, it will attack them.
That's crazy.
So you earned your stripes in the
I
hood.
earned my place. I earned my place. And I had magpies living in the house, in the tree next to my house, like directly next to my house. My neighbors never attacked me once, ever. People walk by, it attacks them.
Also, he wasn't racist. It was just a misunderstanding.
I'm telling you. No, but some of them are racist because some of them, if there's like a big public park that they overlook in the territory, they will only attack either children white people, black people, they pick a scene and they stick to it. And I'm telling you, some of them only attack dogs. You walk without your dog, even if you walk with your dog, it won't even attack you. It will just attack your dog. Just your dog.
That's crazy.
Hood Rich says you got jumped in. You got jumped into the Magpie. You're part of the gang now. They jumped you in. Hood Rich knows what we're talking about. I said you got jumped in. You with the crew now. You cool now.
Exactly, man. Hey, I'm telling you, Australia is a wonderful land, and we have our wonderful animals. And magpies are some of the most. They're just some of the most Australian things ever. Okay, and yes, these motherfuckers are protected. You do not attack them. You do not shoot them. Certainly, Americans. You know. Americans like, but why don't you shoot them though? Like, people are gonna walk around with a 12 gauge just for them.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. My man got jumped in by the magpies. Oh snap!
And it hurts, by the way. Just so you know, they go for the ears, and they have beaks and claws, and they will.
So they know exactly. They know exactly what to go after.
Yeah, they don't go after your head. They go for the ears. They go for the exposed part. They will avoid bicycle helmets as well. So it is. They know all the tricks. All the tricks.
Dang, they smart as hell.
Yeah. So. There we go. That is. Oh, and by the way, she talked about it being in Queensland and that definitely in Victoria where I live. So you know, it doesn't matter where you are, you can't get away from. My best advice, if you are in Australia, come before September and spend at least a month walking in the area and look at every magpie and be extremely courteous to them. Okay, get yourself ingratiated into the group. You know, get yourself jumped in. You know, so that you can be good when they decide.
Oh my God!
So he said you get a pass. You get a pass.
Yeah.
Oh boy! So now you could walk through the hood.
Exactly. But you know what's funny? What is it? I have left that area because I live in a different. And I'm thinking to myself, man, if I go back, is it going to recognize me? Is it going to be like, oh no, hey,
but they're intelligent. They remember you.
Oh, you left.
They remember you. Especially if they're smart as crows. Same thing like crows in like America. Like if you do something wrong against a crow, they will remember you.
Yeah.
And it's like a lifelong beef. Like it's forever until they die. Yeah. This is something to the death. I'm like, what?
My parents are exactly the same. That cousins.
That is insane. That's insane. I saw like a documentary. Like a crow will remember you. You wronged them.
Yeah. And they will tell other crows. Just like the magpies, they will tell others. So it's like it's a whole gang. It's a whole gang situation.
What are we doing here? This show is crazy. This shit is crazy. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was culture. That was a 10-minute culture session.
Exchange.
The cultural exchange. That's how we'll end off every episode.
Different episodes, you know, of the culture exchange every few podcasts, so that you learn a little bit about the land.
Last time it was trucks, right? Garbage trucks, and now
exactly, garbage trucks. You know, we had a few. You know, nice magpies.
That was magpies, and there's one early super chat, and it was from Gordo. I gotta read this one again, but he said, "I tried rum raisin ice cream for the first time, and Extreme owes all of us an apology because that shit was terrible."
You had the wrong one. You disgusting. You had the wrong one. You gotta have the good one. Why did you have it in America? What the hell? What are we thinking?
Do you guys even have raisins in America? Like nobody eats raisins in America. Stop
it. Exactly.
Oh man.
No.
All right, man. All right, people.
What did I have? Sultanas. You had rum and sultanas. That's the wrong thing.
Oh, he said, did I have rum? Oh, snap. All right, we're going to do our outros right here. Extreme, what's going on with you?
Yo, hey, people, I am playing the Banishers Ghost of New Eden. Look, it's a title. It's an action-adventure game. It probably just times on PlayStation Plus. So, you know, if you're thinking to yourself, I just want to play something a little bit different, Banishers Ghost of New Eden. It's all right. It's all right. It's not Clear Obscure Expedition 33, but it will pass the time. It's enjoyable. It is what it is. So go play that, possibly.
Glinza says, y'all got to make a bet. If Expedition 33 wins 33 Game of the Year awards, PR eats a pint of rum and raisin on stream. Ryan McCaffrey got to eat.
To play the game.
Ryan McCaffrey got to eat.
Play the game.
He got to eat his words first. That man said he'll eat the show notes. I'm waiting for that stream. My man's got to eat them show notes.
You're talking about what's it, Ryan? Fairboy Ryan?
Yeah, when he said,
did he say he's taking a break from social media?
Yeah, he took a break. Nah, I'll be like, nah, dog, you got to eat this dinner first before you go. Start eating.
It's okay. Tell him he can put it in rum and raisin ice cream. That should be delicious.
It's gonna be he's really gonna be throwing up. Sean, the king.
Well, I mean, basically what I'm gonna be getting into is Wu Chang, and I think Demon Slayer just came out today, so I might try to get that. So that'll probably be the next game out. Oh yeah, Demon Slayer, the second game, because I beat the first one, but I haven't platinumed that one. But I'm definitely gonna play the second one.
Okay, so how do you do your streams? You have a schedule for your streams, or you just like pop up when you pop up?
I upload every day.
Oh, every day you upload. Do you do any live streaming?
Yeah, I do it every day. Mm-hmm.
Live stream every day. At what time?
I'm usually in the morning. Well, like the
man, this guy's worse than Craig, bro. This guy's worse than Craig. You'll never know when they're doing stuff.
So yeah,
you
I say
worse than
between
Craig
like
Harris.
4 o'clock. 4 to 5 o'clock. I stream like the main stream. Like Let's Plays is like between 4 and 5 o'clock.
Oh, PM? Eastern?
Yeah, PM. Mm-hmm.
So,
PM,
so check guys. PM or Central? Because that's two different times.
Central. I'm Central time because I'm in Texas.
You're Central. So 4 p.m. Central time. All right. So 4 p.m. Central time. Catch him every day around that time. My man streams. He's doing his thing. He's getting them games through, right? He's getting them platinums, all right?
I'm trying, man.
Check him out. Check him out. Check him out. Support the man, right? Support the man who actually plays games. This is your only friend. It is YouTube Streets Porter Rock 77, and we are out of here. Thank you so much for another episode of 60 Frames No Lag. This week I'm gonna try to work on a guest. Hit me up on Twitter if you have any recommendations. Well, I want to have a guest this week, and see how it goes. All right. Anyway. We're out of here. Don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you so much for rocking out. Truly appreciate you coming through. Peace.